Boogity boogity boogity. Boog boogly boogly boog. Hello, Chatfish, and welcome to another stream. Today you become my property, forever bound to me, even as I sink into the vast depths. Fortunately, you're Chatfish, so you'll just, sit there and be fine with it until you reach a certain pressure, where you'll become flatfish, or what we call pancake fish, where you just become flat. We can stack you on top and put syrup on you. Pancake fish. Oh, tasty. Oh. Welcome, chat, to more Sacrifice. Now, despite trying a new campaign, it did not, or no, not necessarily trying a new one, resetting the other one, it didn't, which is the same thing, basically. It doesn't want to get past that level. So, we're going to move on to Charnel, because I don't know what the hell to do to fix the other one. So, yay. Demolicious? Yeah, sure. Demolicious. Scrumptious. No!
Well, it's Charnel based, so we should have a Charnel themed Chatfish name.
What's a Charnel fish? Hugordis. Hugordius Fugius.
You saw Fugi, yeah, that's why.
Hugordius Fugius. Alright, we've selected you to represent us. I like rocks.
I like rocks.
That's one of the save names.
That was when you were playing James.
I know. Ooh, oh. Furries, look out! Just like, and as they get like dragged away. Chateau Fishos. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Too late again, master. All dead.
But the stream Chatfish.
Whoa.
You?
I begin to think the cause of this destruction cannot be other than myself.
Master.
My dark experiments come to a most wicked end.
Master.
Master!
What is it?
Ooh. Who's there?
Who's there? That voice.
Is that
Yes.
Hugordius Fugius? Hugordius.
It seems you are to be my salvation after all.
I am no one's salvation. I am a pawn of
Doom itself.
What?
So I'm not part of
You
the
speak in riddles, sir.
I wonder if even my wisdoms can decipher them. Ah, why do I say riddles? You speak in riddles, sir.
And see if you can find sense where I have failed. Where to begin?
No sacrifice too
In
great.
the realm that was my home, I had devoted my life to study of the arcane. No pursuit was too perilous. No sacrifice too great.
Until...
Well, under the many heavens and in the many worlds, there are darker things than men may dream of. By mere good fortune, recent experiments in conjuration had ensnared me, this imp.
Last time I fell for that one, believe you me.
Only through his guidance was I able to travel across the astral void. And that is how I came here. What a strange and beautiful world I beheld, but dangerous too, I was certain. And I was friendless and homeless, and so I prayed. Hear me, exalted spirits. Hear me, be you gods or devils, ye who hold dominion here. I am a wizard without a home. I am a wanderer seeking refuge.
Wander
I'm
no
a
more.
wizard.
To Elysium come, and join the armies of our faithful. Wage righteous battle against the iniquity of the infernal lord.
Pyro's factories are not iniquity.
Do they not befoul all that is pure? Are they not the very instrument of desecration? Yet their ruinous encroachment continues unabated. If the sanctity of the Davin Forest is violated, what land lies not in jeopardy?
Jeopardy? I bring progress to the forest.
There is no progress without justice.
What you call justice is bondage to outmoded ways. Pyro's followers will never accept such foolishness.
But you have no followers in Davin, Pyro.
I can fix that.
How dare you?
He's being mean.
Typical. Do not despair, wanderer. These two paragons of virtue are not the only gods around here. I, for one, can offer you untold knowledge.
Such promises, knowledge, justice, progress. What value hold these without conflict? What is a life devoid of strife?
Peaceful. And that's not so bad in my book.
I didn't know you could read.
No, James!
Squabbles my heart lighten. Any of these gods would welcome my talents. The choice would be mine.
Why you gotta do this to James, Chatfish?
I do enjoy that line. I didn't know you could read.
I didn't know you could read.
I am Charno,
God of strife, God of slaughter, God of death.
Where there is pain, I am there.
I know, because as a
Where
kid I
there is
played him a lot because he's edgy.
suffering, I flourish. Where there is joy. Yes, well, one could hardly have joy without another's suffering, no? One of my followers has, how do you say?
Strayed from the flock. I need one such as you to gently usher him back into the
fold.
Chad, I'm losing my sanity. Your little lemonfish bodies are too round and too chubby to
We were sent
carry
to the
on.
boneyards of
We can't
Solus,
help it.
ancient dragon burial grounds. There, we would seek out a necromancer called the Ragman.
Ah, the Ragman. Before he was displaced by Acheron, the Ragman was known as the Lord of Terror. That was many generations ago.
Now the Ragman's a little bitch. Just like, whoa, how could it happen? Chat, you made me belch, and I didn't do it.
After he failed me, I left the Ragman chained to a rock in a cavern, not far from here. It is time he was set free.
Polly!
Unfortunately, the dragons who dig tear at his flesh
Roy
are
him.
unlikely to cooperate. You must drive
We
them
just started
away
Polyfish. What's
and
going on,
use
Polyfish?
Dynamo here to sever the chains.
I thirst for blood.
Gangrel
thirst
is a
for
vicious
blood.
killer through and through. I heard he once slaughtered an ant, single-handed no less.
Who am I?
The fleet-footed fallen can send out a stream of those insects that are always buzzing about them, which is particularly useful against flying enemies. Oh, and they are very good at playing dead, which allows them to heal themselves. 12 fallen should be enough to scare the dragons away.
A good approach. I trust you will be able to acquire souls from the locals as necessary.
As necessary.
Scythes are deadly in combat. They feed off of the creatures they slice up, restoring their health with every attack. But they can be picked off by spells and can't attack flying creatures, so making sure they get into combat is the real trick. The Locust is a fragile creature that relies on staying out of the reach of its enemies to survive. It has a very effective attack that will drain enemies of their mana, as well as their health.
Makes them extremely useful at fighting spellcasters, chat. The which strategy?
First things first, we must make a manolith to give you some mana.
A monolith.
Skirmish formation. Skirmish formation. Yes.
I like how they show off the tier 1 units. Like they can you know play dead. Like why would you use them? Just use the flying ones instead.
They're completely pointless to make them kill themselves. It's like, why would you do that?
They can play dead. I could just make better units than the tier 1s though.
Since Squealy has this game, we might even just do some multiplayer stuff too and just muck around.
Good. Now
After we finish the campaign?
to transmit the
No,
mana
even before
to
then.
you.
Oh, okay.
Because you haven't gotten to play this game a whole
Solace
lot.
is the home to followers of James. I don't think they'll take kindly to our presence here.
Oh, you got it. Nostro, move, guard me.
We played with the idea of having Chatfish join us for the multiplayer, for the game,
Hmm.
but they didn't seem too interested, unfortunately.
But it seems like not a lot of people can get the game running, those that could. Now, Chad, if you want to play Sacrifice, you should say so in the chat. Chad, do you want to play Sacrifice with Kib? Like, no, we rather just sit here.
We like to watch.
Little
Yeah, we like to
cuckfish.
watch.
Little
Go
cuckfish.
away!
Kill him. Kill him all in the god, sort him out. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Come on, hurry up. Come on, come on, give me the mana. Yeah, boy.
Probably it's $10 on Rumble. Also, I accidentally sent you the wrong shoes in the care package just now. The level 52 armor set has crafted shoes, so I'll send the proper foot armor after you check your mail next time. Usuals.
Thank
You
you
need to
for
remind
your
me of your usuals. Boulder!
He needs to be reminded. Pooley. He's like Pooey.
Boulder, you're a tier 1 unit. Fuck you.
Sanctu Elil Nostro Ordan.
Nostro. Me.
Soon, Jeffish. Soon. Boop. I don't know. I just imagine it's like gulping up his soul. You know, like a juice box.
Tasty.
Making that noise makes me angry.
You're very easily angry then.
What do you think, chat? Do you think
Also, you do
Charnel's
that a
hashtag
lot-
misunderstood?
You that sounds a lot too.
Yeah, it's like the one sound I'm pretty good at doing. So I just do it a lot. You know, I'm so good at guzzling. Chat, we're the cum guzzlers. Chat, no,
you're the cum guzzler, not us. I
That-
claim not the title of cum guzzler.
That's why they're called pocket fish. So good at guzzling. Now
Now
get guzzling, Chatfish.
It tastes really. Nope, only you are cum guzzlers, says Yana. Unaware of how Polish she is. You see, the Polish are naturally good at guzzling cum.
Guard me.
German and Russian alike.
I think if I sacrifice them to Charnel, chat, I will be more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Like, okay, that's pretty powerful, kid.
Oh my god, Charnel should be like the most happy with sacrifices.
The nightmares are real. Run, everyone! Run! Leave me alone.
Damn, they're British.
I'm so sad.
They'll be dead before long. They're about to get a lot sadder, Squealy.
What do you do this to them?
It's good.
Flavor but fish. Catfish.
Yes, you will make a good squeakerfice. Come on, give me the juice. Oh boy wants to get in the jar. Okay.
I'm surprised this stream has been taken out with the amount of pejoratives thrown around. Literally saying pejorative.
Pejorative.
Cool.
One thing I wish this game had, so in lore, when Charnel occupies territory, you know, the stuff starts to change, like the little flies will start buzzing around and infesting things and corrupting and twisting the land. I wish you could see that actually happen. That'd be cool. Pretty fucking kawaii.
Yasune? Itsu.
Phalanx formation. Guard me.
Guard me.
Just need to build up our fallen a bit. There we go. Now we got some numbers.
Well done.
We'll take out that manolith. Like I still cast it.
Sirocco. Parasites! You will torment me no longer!
Parasites!
And then she flew away. Her purpose was unclear, but it could not be good. There was such a madness in her voice.
What could it be, Chatfish?
Perhaps Charnel is doing Charnel things.
What is it, Cthulhu? Cthulhu's like Cthulhu.
Let me look at Streamlabs just in case.
No, he didn't donate anything. He just said stuff.
Okay. Chatfish like to. Chatfish just like to scream at you, and then like they don't say what they did.
They're kind of dumb.
Because the Templar does that. Whenever seeing him chat, I immediately look to Streamlabs to see if he donated. He's like, did he?
Sometimes they do, like, whenever somebody shows up, they do intro donos. I don't know what to call them. Greeting donos? I'm not entirely sure. I love it when they do that.
It's usually Black's thing. Black isn't around anymore. He's turned traitor.
Black is dead, yeah.
I has potato chip, says Green Ranch.
So the real question is, Chatfish, why are these earthlings flinging rocks at us? Oh, I just realized they're shooting at my dudes and my other guys aren't fucking helping them. Get over there.
Like, as usual, range is king, but I like this. I like the melee units in this game. They look cute.
They're special, but yes. Good, good. They're being hauled off to be squeakified. OWM doesn't say Hrothgals, no lewds, sad reggie will return. Head out for VA matters. Here's a tenner before I leave. Laters. Thank you for the donation and good luck at the VA. Safe journeys. Ow. Actually, I think, you know what? Gaza.
Gibbs, how much would it take for you to do the healthing the strats?
The what?
When you get the fiend, I think it's called.
Hey?
You can feed it souls of your followers, and it buffs it. How much for you to do that?
To do what? Oh, that's curse. That forever devours a soul. That's awful.
Yes, the soul's gone.
We've tried that. You and I even experimented with that, and it was so suboptimal. It was almost hilarious.
Yes, but it gets so powerful at 33 souls, Kips. You know, more than the souls on the map.
This altar appears to be in disuse.
Can't desecrate it, sadly.
Desecrated. Just wanted to give that update before I head to bed. Happy to finally be ahead on crafting things for our sugar baby, says Polly.
Oh, that's very kind of you, little polyfish. I really appreciate that. Polyfish. He's like, oh. It's fun to say polyfish, even if it doesn't mean anything. Gaza Strip. Which is,
yeah, that's Regal. You broke a rule.
That's a region on the map of the planet. It just so happens that stuff might be happening there.
Yeah, you broke the rule. I gotta ban you now.
You could feel it in the air. The Ragman's anguish was a living, malignant thing. No better fate awaited me if I too failed the god of slaughter.
Where did the Ragman come from, like the name?
Defend this structure.
Going.
Guard me.
So be it.
What the heck am I doing? Summon 12 fallen. Oh, I haven't done my main objective.
You need some chaff. It placates the gods.
What?
I'm one shy.
What? Tell me what to do, eh?
He thinks you have to kill one of your units.
Oh no, we got it.
Move.
Over there?
Phalanx formation. Guard me.
You got it.
Ready to slice. Ready.
Skirmish formation.
I
Guard me.
thirst for blood.
Line formation. Guard me.
Okay, now we'll be able to get it.
Carry the 12 fallen, master.
Come to me.
Sirocco is beaten. Her life is a waking nightmare, and she suffers my torment with me.
Ragman, the years have not diffused your malice. You have tainted everything that was once pure in this valley, including the vaunted and ancient Sirocco. There is hope for you, after all. You may consider your penance complete, for the time being.
I am yours to command, master.
First, we must consecrate an altar for you. Then we shall see how much control you have over this dragon.
Over this dragon. That guy.
Wow,
I was certain trouble awaited me in the ethereal realm. I had earned the favor of one god, but the ire of four.
A frightening prospect.
I had survived forces more dire than these. The gods, of course, were preoccupied with other matters. A certain blind seer stood accused of spreading blasphemous rumors.
Mithras. Share with us this vision.
I fear it will damn me to speak so dark a prophecy, but I know I cannot keep the truth from you. The gods are four, whose works grow cold, as one betrays their laws of old. Then dark grow deeds and darker hearts, for lost to all are holy arts. A vagrant comes amidst the gloom to seal the gaping maw of doom.
Kill the blasphemer.
Charnel, death is not the answer to everything.
Yes. Torture also has its merits.
What if he's telling the truth?
Then they started flinging accusations at each
Well, none of us would unleash a maw of doom, right?
Except Persephone. What good is a holy warrior without a holy war?
How like you, Charnel.
Myself, I would sooner suspect Charnel. You do have a certain taste for destruction, don't you?
And then Pyro's kind of power-hungry, come to think of it. He might hatch some half-baked.
Oh, the worm speaks. Look here, if anyone needs outside help, it's you. You pathetic, jiggling mass of goo.
Oh, really?
He has a point.
An old soothsayer's trick, but well played. Stir up old enmities and shift attention from yourself. But I too could benefit from this prophecy. I would be the vagrant they were looking for. Even if they doubted your vision, the tension ensured they would all see the value of a capable wizard.
James is by far the best god. I've always believed that. Only because he's one of the only gods who tries to look for reason. While all the other ones are dumb.
He's the only god that knows that they actually need to focus. The other ones just want to kill each other.
Yep, that was one of the things I always appreciate about the story, because, like, Strato's the one behind it. Spoiler alert, it's an old game. But it's very obvious it's Strato. James is the only one who's like, we should focus on the bigger picture here, guys. And Strato's manipulating basically Pyro, Charnel, and Persephone to war. And Pyro and James have a feud for quite a while, so he's trying to push that. And so Strato's just sitting there manipulating both sides, being a little fucking son of a bitch. Playing both sides. Also why he's normally the first god killed. Because in his arrogance and his hubris, he trusts Marduk is somebody he can manipulate and use, not realizing that he's an agent of judgment. And agents of judgment are destroyers of worlds in this setting. So, Strato's a bit stupid when you think about it.
Of course, if you serve him, his plan goes to fruition and he becomes the true god.
Well, it works out better because you help him.
Yep.
Because it turns out Tim Curry needs a helping hand.
Yeah.
Let me assure you, I do not want to destroy the world. That's where all the best slaughter takes place, you know.
That makes him better than the Chaos Gods, by the way.
I have a little something in mind. It is time I reopened the demon gate of Golgatha.
It's funny how a god of slaughter.
Master?
Yep.
It's funny how a god of slaughter believes in moderation.
Well, he doesn't want to wipe out the world because he literally likes the world. Like, none of these gods seek the destruction of the world. None of them. Not any of the five. The one who does is Marduk, who is an agent of judgment, and he deems this world as a reflection of himself, an imperfection, and therefore it must be cleansed. It must be purged. Just like, oh, purge, ooh. Gaping Maw, where have we seen one of them? What? Why are you removing it? Sacrifice from Gog Basket. Well, don't need to buy the game now. Oh, don't even give me that. Don't give me that bullshit, Harlot Houdini. Because there's 5 different goddamn endings in this game. You big tard. Now put that back in the basket. Stuff.
You make your basket, John. Baby queen.
Because what's interesting is Charnel here. He is like, okay, that prophecy, he didn't really like the prophecy, he didn't really believe it that much, but He's like, I'm gonna open the demon gate, even though in the ancient wars that they had before, he's forbidden from opening the demon gate of Golgatha. But he's gonna reopen it because his solution is to summon a greater demon, the demon king of Astaroth, to slay the problem.
I do.
Pyro's solution to the problem is create a super weapon using his industrious might. I forget Stratos' solution to the problem, because he kind of already knows. He has his own thing. James's solution is just to figure out what the fuck is happening. And Persephone, if I remember, I just basically purge the other gods. We'll figure it out.
Like,
What's funny is the
Pyro's
evil
solution
gods are the ones who are actually... What's weird is the evil gods end up actually looking for a solution directly to the problem, while the forces of good are like, well, we'll defeat them. You know, we'll just do it.
But we'll kill Charnel and Pyro at the same time.
Yep.
Because a Pyro solution does end up destroying Persephone and James's lands, but that was a net good in his mind to begin with.
Well, Pyro's already destroying his lands before he knew about that. Pyro invading and abducting trolls from Davin Forest was him stealing trolls so he could make troll fists, or those little fire ones, because he wanted his own melee brutes. That was him just committing war crimes, as per usual.
He's a war crime god. That's why I like him. Stratos, all the meanwhile, was just trying to play all sides. While everyone else fight each other.
Prophecy, you agreed to reopen the demon gate.
As I said, I never believed in prophecy. Besides, summoning demons was once a specialty of mine.
Oh?
Straying from the tale. We will return to that later.
Again, it's very interesting that Marduk is the one listening to the story.
Yep, because Mithras died already,
Attempt
if I
will be
remember
made
right.
to drive you away, but have no fear. The taint of this place weakens those who would oppose you. You may also find help at the demon gate itself.
Leave this place. I abjure you. It is forbidden for any servant of Charnel to enter here.
I am no god's servant.
You shall have time to gather your minions and get you gone. Do not be here when I return.
That's Lady Abraxis, mistress of Surtur's Keep. People call her honorable, but she seems awfully uptight to me. I will say one thing, she's fast and very skilled. Or is that two things? The Necro can infect its victims from a distance. It will weaken any resistance against our warriors. If you're going to fight another wizard, you're going to have to desecrate her altar. If you just kill her, she can come back.
What if I kill Chatfish?
If she gets your altar,
I do like he says wizard instead of wizard. Yeah, the game doesn't go for a whole lot.
You know, it's cheap.
It's an old
also
game, so
old.
it goes cheap.
It's got 5 campaigns, and it's got pretty decent. I recommend the GOG version over the other versions, because the GOG version comes with the community map pack, which you can go to extras and download. That's like 100+ maps. It's ridiculous. Not all of them are good, mind you. They are made by the community from like 1 billion years ago. Some of them aren't, though. The GOG version just also comes with more goodies. It's all about taking manoliths and projecting. One thing that this game I wish it did is it showed you how far these manoliths project mana, because your mana hordes draw from the manolith you construct over the mana well, right? But as you go further away, that draw power is actually draining, because you only draw from a certain distance. So if I go too far away on like the big maps and stuff, like the flames above their head will disappear altogether.
Now, I would say I would want a successor to the game, but I don't. But I feel like the world plays a large part into the quality. But Like a remake would be the best, I think.
She's on the other side of this hill. Yep. Now those brainiacs are annoying because if I get hit by that, I get knocked over.
Very well. I shall send you away.
Yes, Hero Yui, this is the evil stream. We couldn't finish.
The good campaign was bugged to high hell. I have no idea what's going on with that. I'll redo the whole install at some point when I do spare time. Ah, that's right. She's still alive. That subtle bonus we get makes this level so much easier than doing it as Persephone. Persephone was a struggle because on this level, or on this map, like, she has a disadvantage because Charnel's forces get a bonus from being here. There goes her mana horse. That's gonna drain her mana. Okay, get rid of that fucking Brainiac. He's annoying me as... I think I missed and hit the Manolith. Yep, I did. Just keep wiggling around and don't get hit. Ooh. The fighting is heavy. The fighting is heavy. Oh my god. Alright, knock that out. Oop, got knocked over. I think she's gonna go back for that soul. Oh, maybe not.
Nether Fiend. That was the name of the creature, Nether Fiend.
Yep, the Nether Fiend. Nether Fiend can eat souls.
I was thinking, like, they called it a fiend, but what was its actual name? Nether. It was Nether Fiend.
Strike her down. Put up a swarm of flies to protect me. We actually managed to nab one of our creatures from that fight, so that wasn't bad. Alright, come on. I keep fucking missing. My creatures are being absolutely bad at fighting. Okay, we need to nab that little Manolith right there and keep ripping those from her. Oh, if he dies over the edge of the world, he actually... No, I don't think that's the edge of the world there.
Nope.
Oh.
His corpse land on the ledge, though.
Alright, get a melee creature, come on, let's go. There we go. I'll get some air power. Because if those things hit her, they'll drain her mana. Alright, I see one benefit on this map is there's a Nether Fiend over here. We can recruit.
I have been sent by Charnel. Will you aid us?
There's only one thing creatures like this want.
Oh.
Souls. You don't have any souls to offer.
I could kill it. That's what I think I might do. Ooh. Can I nab any souls? I don't know. I'm gonna try. Nope. What I could do is I could kill the Nether Fiend, which is what I think I will do. Yep, suck 'em dry, boys. Alright, there we go. I'll take his souls instead. Because Nether Fiends are worth 2 souls. It's also why I don't think they're very good at feeding souls, because it's a 2-soul creature. Like,
they're very expensive, and you don't get the souls back once they.
Some of the abilities I think were just stupid, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
Not efficient, but it is funny to have an invincible Nether Fiend.
Ring, ring. Oh, that bitch. She set the Nether Fiend free.
It's purple, it's not even on your side.
It isn't. I'm killing it.
Dead though.
Come on, strike her down. Nice. Yep, we stole her mana ore. Honestly, I think they should make the wizard take longer to reconstitute, because they reconstitute way too quickly to get their souls back, which is kind of annoying. So it makes getting an edge such a nightmare.
And you have the missions against Marduk, where he can just pick up any soul he wants.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
See, the solution, Chatfish.
Cheat.
Just wean him up just to take all his souls.
The solution is just to sit and turtle.
Yep.
That's how you can beat most of these levels. That's how I know my friend Barch beat them. But I find that cringe. So I normally go on the offensive. The only ones I don't is the Marduk one. Because whoever designed that one just didn't like the idea of you doing anything outside of defending with the first 15 minutes of the level. Alright, they're attacking that, but that's fine.
There, you see that red beam? Well, that creature is guardian to the Manolith.
Come on,
now
get him.
that makes him very tough. In fact, the Manolith can't be destroyed until he dies.
There we go.
That's the dog.
Alright. Just prevent her from getting the altar because I can disrupt our squeakerficing. Which is where she's gonna go. That's the fucking spirit. Bitch! You're trying to squeakerfice my guy. Get out of here. That soul back. I got pizza now. It's a succulent juice. What kind of pizza you get, boy? He's like, I'm a girl, actually. Ooh, girl. Weird.
If your fascination with making your traffic into women is unhealthy.
I accidentally summoned another mana whore. Whoops. See, this dead creature's gonna force her to come back. You're gonna come back, you dumb bitch. Suck the juice out of him, chat. There we go. We've secured more mana, chat. I can't cast that yet. I need more mana. Also, I figured out how to get rid of the invalid target thing. It was a setting. Speech notifications, whatever. You just turn that the fuck off. Invalid target. Invalid target. I really hated that one. That one really, 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 really was annoying. Alright, assaulting this position is gonna suck balls, but we gotta do it, so here we go. What the fuck is she doing besides being an absolute target? I think at most we'll be able to nab one soul if we're lucky. Before she reincarnates. There she is. Put her down, put her down.
How, like, what exactly is it based on?
What? Reincarnating?
How long it takes for them to...
you walk up to the mana and it slowly recharges your health and whatever by time. On the bright side, once she runs out of mana lifts, then she has nowhere to go. Or she has no mana to pull from. So plugging that one means that pyre is no longer going to feed her with juice. I think there's a soul that she wasn't able to retrieve, but she's going to come back and grab it. There is. It doesn't look like she's actually going to try to. We're going to knock out... We're going to go to... Fuck it, we're just gonna attack her, and that'll buy time for the sack doctor to take care of everything. She's retreating. She's gonna have to come back if she wants these souls. Yep, there we go. Which is fine. Then we can take out this manolith. And all she has is one manolith, so that means that the amount of mana she can pull with a mana whore is not that much. Versus we have like total map control, so that means that all the mana is now funneling into our mana whores, chat.
All your mana belong. I do think a rebalance would be in order.
I mean, this game could use some tweaking, but I think the overall design is fine. Like, it's meant to be like a 30 to like 40-minute mission style type, or 20 to 30. I feel like it's not supposed to take longer than that.
But there's so many like just useless units that could have been more useful.
There are. And we plug that one. Now she has nowhere she can get mana except by standing next to her altar.
Yeah, I think a remake would do this game a lot of justice. We just don't know any developers that could actually do it properly, I think.
Move. Going.
We're gonna reincarnate again, then we're gonna beat Devlin crap out of her.
And then sacrifice.
Yep, as we desecrate our altar.
The banishment of Abraxis was a temporary measure,
It just shakes.
She would be restored by her god Stratos before long.
In the meantime, however, Golgatha and the Demon Gate were Charnel's once more. I can imagine he immediately set about reforging alliances with the demon lords of other realms.
Victoire. Welcome, Crazy Fish.
Trouble had arrived. Even word of Charnel's restoration of the Forbidden Demon Gate paled by comparison to the news of Pyro's misdeeds. Attacking Urgaz and abducting the infants of an entire tribe of trolls.
You checking?
I was seeing if he donated, because he tends to do that on this entry.
Their argument began before I'd even arrived.
Persephone and Stratus are obviously conspiring against me. This whole question of the Maw of Doom is so plainly a fabrication.
It matters not how oft your tongue protests innocence, when your deeds do bear your heart's true villainy. You have invaded our domain once again, and not merely in warfare come, but with far crueler purpose.
The gnomes came to me for help. Apparently they are weary of your neglect and your incessant demands. Why should they continue to suffer for the comfort of savage and brutish beings like the trolls?
I see only one savage and brutish being here.
Come now, you mustn't forget me.
Everyone wait. Haven't we all had enough of wars?
No.
If it was war they wanted, war they would get.
Only James wants peace.
Oh, he's the god of telling the fuck out.
He's literally the god of I just want to grill. He is the grill god, unironically. Just want to grill. Just want to be a rock. Like, wow.
Pyro will be in need of an ally, and I could use a pawn. Of course,
I could use a
if I know
pawn.
Pyro, he will require a
used to.
little convincing, but that is accomplished easily enough.
Pyro kind of brain dead Chatfish. Okie dokie gib.
Providing a small diplomatic escort, Charnel sent me to parley with Pyroboria's own ambassador Buta.
Ambassador Buta!
Show the ambassador no mercy. It must be a slaughter if we are to sufficiently impress our point on Pyro.
Guard me. Move.
By spewing out parasitic blight mites, a blight can slow its victims down, lealing them vulnerable to the attacks of your fighters.
Carla, we can hear you. Squee wee.
I know, Phil. I was talking to Phil.
I know. I'm letting you know, so you don't say something you're not supposed to. Somebody's got to look out for you, Squealy.
He's asking about mail.
Your mail. Was it? No.
No mail. Man.
Another blight is always a welcome sight. Get it, blight sight? Oh.
You've got mail. No, I did get mail.
No one would ever accuse Ambassador Buta there of being very smart, but he's powerful. Watch out for his fireball dragon fire combo.
Make way for the ambassador. Okie dokie. It hurts what he does to my body. It fucking burns. I think I hid behind that fucking tree. Things could be going better. Game got loud.
Yeah, it did. Red male, debate. No, harlot, you're debatable.
Oh, chatfish! It burns! It burns! The spells are bullshit. Don't have the minions to fight him, sadly. Anyway, I can do it, shall say squealfished.
Squealfished.
Welcome to stream, biggest than the truth. You're late, aren't you?
Well, he is the truth and the biggest.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Whew. What is music balance?
She came to this world not long before you did.
Thanks, game.
Persephone reeled her in right off the bat.
Abraxis and Shakti. An interesting wrinkle, no? Use this opportunity to suggest an alliance with Buddha.
Buddha.
Buddha!
That's Ambassador Buddha.
You see what I see, Ambassador. Perhaps it's time Charnel and Pyro were allied as well.
You are woefully deficient in the ways of etiquette, but you have a point. In the name of Pyro, I accept.
We've got some new objectives.
Right, so now we formed an alliance. He's left his soul here. I'm just gonna steal that real quick. Don't fucking mind me borrowing some shit.
Skirmish formation. All these pejorative.
All right, it appears that the enemies have arrived.
Oh, he said, but low. As big as in the truth. The little hardfish that he is.
But you have a point. But. I'll make him do the work. I'll get the sacrifices. I think that's only fair. Yep, we got it before him.
He has to do all the work, then I can get all the sacrifices. Big thinky.
I'm not really sure what their minions are doing.
Yeah.
There we go. That's one. That's one. Yeah, yeah. Give me that souls. Oh! Bucket bros. Ho!
I think everyone's heard about the female custodians. And that's what I expected to happen eventually.
Oh yeah. Warmer being woke is nothing new. But hey, guess who isn't woke? My setting. Hmm? Welcome aboard. I have a monopoly now.
You know how WoW had like an exodus from their community because of how shitty Blizzard was being? Do you think Warhammer will have the same thing, or are they too
They do.
used and abused to leave?
Literally, we're getting new people interested in our stuff just because of that.
Oh.
People will leave. They'll never ever come back. Some people may if they ever pick themselves up, but maybe not. I don't know what the AI is doing when it's fighting its little war here, but it's absolutely retarded. But we've managed to nab quite a few things. Vigorius Fugius. Our attack doctor is doing weird things with that one.
Grumblerat has been married for 12 months. His bubble told us. A whole year in the bucket. Thanks, Gibbs, Reguline, Hands, and everyone for all the great times. Keep up all the great work. Sockland, Demgar, Gibbs, Vic Gibbs.
Fight with honor,
I know he pays for it. So.
Well, thank you for your long-term support, Grumpy. We couldn't have made it this far without your help. Oh. They're gonna try doing that, eh? Let's fucking surprise them then. What's going on over here? Ah. The troll's trying to save their minions. I don't fucking think so.
I am gaining ground.
Right, now that we've got some decent momentum, we can get some creatures.
Ready to slice.
Ready to die.
Wedge formation.
Going.
Denorum plan.
Why do you fight us? Self-defense.
What do you That was a funny mission. Why do you fight us? Self-defense? Like they're not entirely sure why they're asking that question. Sacrifice has got some funny lines.
Shakti has been defeated. Mission objective completed.
Oh, Buddha's out killing me. That's because I've just been lazing about. Normally I'm always like mega ahead of Buddha. I thought sacrifices would count, but they don't. Rip. That's right, it's a competition. As a bonus objective.
Maybe you should kill Buddha.
Yeah, I think I will. It's the one way to be certain that Buddha won't win. What we'll do is we'll camp the altar. No, Buddha's coming. We need to chew him on Buddha.
Instead of summoning another manolith, I can summon a shrine on this mana fount and sacrifice souls here.
Let's go, Ken.
Tell me what to do, eh? Tell me what to do. Attack. Over here.
I am gaining ground.
Damn it, you won.
I knew we would win. Buddha has always been very skilled with the ladies. No.
What did you say?
But not as skilled as a sorcerer.
It is only unfortunate that you are not so skilled as a sorcerer.
Uncouth mercenary. I will not stand for such an insult.
Well done. I think we have made our point to Pyro.
Wow, Bjorkit fish. Look at that. Oh, delicious. Crunchy.
There have been other wars between the gods, some protracted and dreadful. Yet one truth had been constant. It was mortals who bore the suffering. The gods were bound by ancient ties, and none of them, not even Persephone or Charnel, ever sought the other's extermination.
I know everyone's busy getting ready for the big war, but has anyone else noticed what Jadugar's been doing? I seen him all around the glebe, rallying folks with talk of the prophecy of Mithras and some fellow Asher who'll save them all.
Enough of your womanish whining.
What?
You will not distract Pyro with these ridiculous tales. Why don't you give up already?
Pyro is right. If you cannot keep your followers' faith, that is your problem, James.
Enough with your womanish whining. What?
The indignity! James actually suggested that this upstart, this Asher, could be a greater threat than the god of slaughter. Perhaps it will be necessary to subjugate this cult and restore everyone's faith in us, no?
He's annoyed he's not the center of attention.
Pyro sent Empress Sorsha to help fight the Asher cultists, but she arrived far too soon and with scant forces.
He was punishing her. I heard the Empress refused to gather slaves for his new doomsday device.
Ah, at the time, I only knew it had gravely endangered our purpose.
You must hurry. Your minions have gone ahead to aid the Empress, but they have not fared well. This Jadugar is magnificent.
Your new spell, Animate Dead, can be used to restore life to blue souls.
Guard me.
Scroll wheel.
Another fiend is very powerful as is, but it can become even stronger by consuming blue souls.
That's a trap, chat. Don't listen to that. That's it. There. I've scrolled out all the way.
I'm turning the game down again because it got loud again.
It does that. The audio balancing is not very good. It's an old game. there. We've summoned all our creatures we can. Another fiend is slower than molasses.
I could scarcely describe the horror of what came next. It cannot be. Marduk.
Greetings, old friend, but they call me Asher here.
Why have you come?
Our bargain is incomplete. Your rivals have fallen, but our reckoning is not yet fulfilled.
My rivals? You destroyed everything. The very earth was crumbling beneath my feet.
Do not blame yourself overmuch. The doom of Jera was preordained. Content yourself that you were but a pawn, as you will be again. As for you, little imp, I will not forget your role in all of this.
Is he gone? Oh, Master, there are other worlds, other places we could go.
Nay. We will do something to stop him this time.
Can you believe that, chat? The baddies. They're doing bad stuff.
Empress Sorsha rules Pyroborea. She is a capable sorceress, but I've heard she can be overly cautious. They say Buddha has wooed her for many years without success. Maybe that's where her defensive talents came from, eh?
Not all the locals are sympathetic to Jadugar. Perhaps you can win their aid where I have failed.
I'm fighting for Charnel.
That's
I
Jadugar,
doubt that.
Last of the centaurs. He abandoned Stratos after his people were slaughtered. I think he's still a bit bitter about it.
Well, you see, you can always convince their souls after doing sacrifice, you know?
I love the resurrection spell. It's so good for sustained fighting.
Especially if you have good units. If you don't, well, you know.
You don't want to use it on like high tier units usually. Alright, while the fighting goes on over there, let's get this fucking manolith. Crazy Templar donates $12.45. Say, question, what does the spearbeak taste like? Imagine something that's, it's tough. Like, the meat of a spearbeak is... It's got a...
like chicken.
It's got a... It's got a taste to it. It tastes good. Like, it's got this sweet... Or not sweet, but sort of like tough beef. It makes great jerky. But the biggest problem that meat faces, in my opinion, is that it's just so goddamn tough. So much muscle. The spearbeak is a very, very muscular beastie. So get used to gristle.
If you beat it, though, if you tenderize it right, it tastes like chicken.
You gotta beat the ever-living Christ out of it. You gotta beat the ever-living...
I like to imagine that your Templars in Astria, they beat the ever-living shit out of the fucking mounts of the Nefir, and then they eat it after the battle. Chicken.
Oh, the new part of the tabletop wargame is now being introduced. It's the custom lord creator. So lords for each faction in Terrestria is unique. So custom lords made for the Astrians are not the same for the Nefir, but they're similar in certain essence, right? Like you have your same system or rule set, right? So there's pre-named characters or prescribed characters like, Nidus would be a general character or a lord. Then there's sub-commanders. And certain lords make better sub-commanders like Ennius Ender or characters like that. Ennius Ender is really good because it gives a bonus to militia troops, which makes militia troops, which are normally kind of scrappy, makes them very tough because they hold the line. Much like at the Battle of Broken Storms, they really did hold. Oh my god, one of my real life friends just realized that I'm on the Archcast occasionally. When I was on the Fallout thing. That's weird.
Or
That's gonna weird me out forever now.
what?
That there's my real life friends of old, like, are finding out that I'm, like, related to people on the internet.
You know that guy? Watch that guy.
What is your purpose here? I am hunting those who have declared themselves for Asher. They are the enemies of all gods.
No greater enemy to us than the minions of Charnel and Pyro. Get out of my sight.
Kill them all.
Kill them!
Oh yeah, they give you the one of Pyro's boys.
I'll beat the Christ out of him. Wait, what's going on? Oh shit, they're on my base. Okay, well,
Send the teleport back.
Yep, pretty much. I'm gonna wreck the monolith here so I can get back up here. Oh shit. They're desecrating my altar. I'm being sacrificed. Chatfish, help! I'm getting zapped. Alright, we need to teleport back. Now. Oh, I can't do a sustained fight, but I'm gonna have to.
Oof.
Oh my god. Is the AI cheating or what the fuck is
These things from turtling was required.
Where'd they get all those goddamn souls? That's what I want to know.
Oh no, Gibbs has become a micro celebrity.
Nah, I think that's kind of cringe, but whatever. I need to in order to actually make the money I need for this project and everything else. Woo! Okay, now we teleport back and we save our stuff. Come on. Oh.
I forget that, let me see. Yeah, I forgot the screaming cat as a profile on the stream.
Yep. Until we figure out a solution that will remain that way.
Like, why think about the cat screaming again? Because the cat is screaming.
Get scared. If you knew what this cat was screaming about, you should be screaming too.
Yeah.
Alright, we need to intercept his army wherever he comes from. I don't know where he's gonna come from though. But I have a suspicion that he's gonna come from somewhere. I don't see him down here.
Oh, is this actual cat screaming? Okay.
But why? Maybe you should throw it out a window. That'll give it a reason to scream. The cat proceeds to fucking plummet. Yeah, that's quite a massive army they have right there.
Welcome to stream, Rapier.
Oh, stream Rapier.
Chumba.
It doesn't default to what your Discord profile is? No, it's not supposed to. That's broken. That's the reason it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be something completely different. Sorcha, I feel like you're just feeding the AI your souls because you're incompetent at fighting. That's what I genuinely think is happening here.
Never expect the AI to be in any way competent when it's not working for you.
Well, on the bright side, a mass Brainiac spam is not the best idea for spells. And so he's gonna take attrition from that move. I just plunder all the souls from that battle. And yeah, that's quite a bit of losses he took there. Gaza, Kriksa, Gunketsu. I don't know what that means.
What are the turkeys called again?
Turkeys?
I think the birds.
The blights.
Look, they're the blockade blights.
He took a absurd amount of damage there. Fucking squealing. Damn, he recovered his souls. Well, he has no army with which to fight. So shall we press on? Woo! Set me swirling. Must be some sort of vertic thing. Yep, right there. No, you don't. You're gonna get sludged. Like Nickelodeon. Hell yeah.
Get this Nickelodeon gap.
Oops. It would have been better to have animated the dead than to pick up the souls.
Welcome to the stream, little Bindio Indio.
Bindio? He's like, buh, buh, buh. You know, because he's brain damaged. He's brain. Bubba. Bendio. Got him.
Animus casa totelos. Tenorum vermithrax totel clato carpe animus.
Coming. There's one.
There we go. Yep, they're all gonna die now, brother.
That wizard is wrong.
Now, Jadugar doesn't have a god to return to, so I think he dies. I can't remember. But, like, he is gone.
Isn't he attuned to Asher?
Or does he? I don't know.
You defeated Marduk's champion. A favorable sign.
He was outnumbered and we caught him by surprise. Even then I knew.
What?
The worst was yet to come. I returned to the gods with new purpose.
Stop, stop, stop! I will hear no more until you tell something of substance about this Marduk. What do you know of him? Why does he seem to know you?
I was getting to that. In Jera, I had been a man of substance.
A lord? Or perhaps a king?
A tyrant, more like. You would have thought me an evil man.
Most people did.
There were others, some good, some bad, some indifferent. I have vied with them for power.
What was that? Perhaps it would be best if we set out.
I think it was bad noises, Chad.
Please continue your tale. I will follow the sound of your voice.
As you wish. Labored all my life to build another man's empire. When he died too young, far too young, authority fell to me alone, but I was not as well loved as he had been.
Despised is more like it.
Foreign powers and internal conspirators plotted to tear the empire apart. My own people turned against me after all I had done for them. But their dull-witted prejudice would not destroy what I had labored so long to build. Yet the armies of my enemies grew too strong, and I was forced to turn to dark forces.
So you summoned Marduk?
Aye. But the demon was too powerful. I could not control it.
And then?
The rest I need hardly tell, for it is happening around us. It was the end of the world. I returned to the gods with new purpose. My first step would be to tell them what I knew of Marduk, who was calling himself Asher.
What did you tell the gods of Marduk?
What I knew. He was a demon of untold power. A being who seemed to feed off the worlds to which he was summoned. A being of infinite appetite.
The best way to fight a demon is with a demon.
Ridiculous. My pyrodrolic dynamo is nearly complete. No demon can hope to withstand its might.
You place too much confidence in the gnome's designs, my dear Pyro.
What I place confidence in, Charnel, my friend, is that I am the only one who recognizes the need for the ruthless application of superior firepower.
Hearing this animosity, I began to question the choices that had brought me here.
What did you do?
I pledged myself to serve justice. Jadugar, what the fuck? 180-degree story change. I know I've committed crimes.
Nothing. Ultimately, I realized that only they could possibly give me the power to defeat Marduk.
And if their power was not enough?
It would have to be.
It would have to be, chat. Where you
or
see
you would fuck him and die.
their power was insignificant to the mere might of Chatfish. Oh, Chatfish powered. Little lemon fish that swim around all derpy-like.
Also, welcome to the stream, Todd.
Welcome, Todd. Are you ready to be beaten to death? He's a key. Also, Henschat donates $60.03 for ordering 2 chatfish. He says, after 5 to 6 months of thinking of a chatfish, I have a design, but problem 5 secs later is I have 2 designs. So must have 2 chatfish. Lemonfish, no more. Thank you for your generous purchase for 2 little chatfishies.
Let me know what chatfish you want. From who?
You must do so quickly, chat, or you will be tickled with violence. Yes.
I'm assuming an Hanish.
Chatfish, listen, I know what you're thinking. You're scared, confused, and a little gay. What do you mean a little gay?
His little old Palu finished. Like, is he up for Chatfish now, Kim?
He can be. Why is he picked?
I'm asking. Because he hasn't said yet, but which RC wants to do with Chatfish.
Well, there's Bino, there's Bindio, if you hate Bindio, and then there's Licky Fish, or Lichin Fishin, as we call him.
Poor Pyro, he really is a simple creature. Don't waste your time with his trinkets. Go to Golgatha, and there we will make preparations to take on this Marduk.
This Marduk.
Charnel may not see it, but surely you understand. We are on the verge of total domination of our foes. You either choose to be a part of it, or choose defeat.
Oh, Frederick Henstad says he needs help. The Discord is linked in the description. Basically, go to the Discord and type in the Bickering Bunch discussions that you're Hensted.
Also need to make him. I need to give him tags.
Recently recovered control of the Demon Gate, but already he intended use of its full power.
It is a means to contact other planes, isn't it? The realms of demons?
Aye, that was our purpose. I was instructed to channel the spirit of Astaroth into...
Astaroth? The demon king of Tartarus?
Know him, do you?
I know something of demon lore.
If I may continue, Zizix, I bound the spirit of Astaroth within the blades of the scythe named Gangrel.
I think you have done this kind of thing before. Soon, Astaroth's fury will be Gangrel's might. Then he will be ready to battle Marduk. The only thing that can possibly stop us now is if someone kills Gangrel before the ritual is complete. You must ensure that this does not occur.
But Chatfish, Surely you know.
I must bow to your wisdom, Yogo. This approach was swifter than the course I suggested.
Why do you trespass in the land of Stygia?
We have come to put an end to this wickedness. Use of the Demon Gate was forbidden during the purification.
I did not ask to be tutored in history. We seek a way to defeat the demon Marduk before it is too late. Are you with us?
I trust you as any of Charnel's diseases. Not at all.
They call that one Yogo. He has been protector of Elysium for as long as anyone can remember.
Why are they doing this, Chatfish? We could have been friends. The best of friends. Allies.
I'll just add him in discussions.
Skirmish formation.
I don't really know. I was more focused on finding the design that I didn't think of the artist. Well, I'll list them out in discussions.
We must hold for 5 minutes, brother fish. Hold, brothers. Hold. 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 I always love it when Spanish settings when they do that. Hold. Hold. We must continue to summon spells and stuff. Spells and stuff. Oh, purple stuff. What's wrong, Skilly?
Hmm?
You made little noises. What was that?
I wasn't doing funny noises, kid.
It's because I'm just summoning purple stuff.
Tell me what to do.
I was doing funny noises while eating crackers.
Oh, you got it.
Peanut butter crackers. Mm. Holy gay, just Todd.
Hold. Hold. And Chatfish fall over dead. Masterdock. Chatfish.
I find the movie trope of telling your bowman to fire kind of funny.
Hold. Hold.
Fire, but there isn't any fire.
They fire right when they get like super close to the point where they're in melee range and they kill like 2 dudes and they all die because they get in melee. Like, sir, we could have been shooting them for like 30 minutes. Hold. Hold. And they just keep doing it over and over again. He's squeakerficing.
Well,
2 minutes and 30 seconds till he's done. Where the fuck are those guys going?
Travis is so talking to.
What?
Gave it to the one with the least malware.
These Deadeyes are good at attacking
Okay,
from a distance.
that's fair.
And the darts they shoot, poisonous.
Sure.
Indio, Lycan, Albine have already. Albine got a commission there piece. Lycan got a lot of Chatfish. Venus still has to draw his, so does Indio. So I'll give it to Palu, I think.
Hurry up and fucking do the thing, goddamn it, game! Wow, whap. Wee, wee, whip. Oh shit. Blue bitches. All my squiggers hate blue bitches.
Did you change over the engine for your game to Screen Branch?
Nope, not yet. Ooh, that's so off the ledge.
Is Aladdin Chatfish again? I thought it was still on pre-order.
Technically, it was supposed to be, but you can thank Skrilly for that. You fucked up, Skrilly. You know what? We both know it. We both know it.
He asked for the chat. He asked for the artist with the least amount of work. You can easily change it to another artist. But I think I'll give it to Beano instead. There you go.
The ritual of binding is complete. Gangrel will be sent to Acheron to search for Marduk. Now rid us of Yogo before he causes any more trouble. Do not, I repeat, do not banish Abraxis yet. I mean to talk with her.
Mission objective completed. We've got some new objectives.
I get my ass beat. God damn it, I hate that fucking pogo stick loving son of a bitch.
Okay, then it won't be Beano then. India has a lot of shit that she needs to do, so I'll give it a liking, I guess.
I'm surprised he didn't die. Not too shabby. Abby. Giggles isn't in here. Masterfish. Why does Kib's army look like it from Dead Space? Lol. Because we're fucking charnel.
He's the body horror evil army of the undead.
Not necessarily undead. They're alive. That's the worst part.
Well, they were demons, yeah.
Even the fallen, I think, are technically alive.
Well, yeah, they're undead, Kibbo. They were dead. Now they're undead. Then you have the most skeets. Those are just evil creatures. The sides, I don't know what the sides are supposed to be. Why?
I crave blood.
Two wizards at once? Easy for Kib. Who's so good at fucking video games? Oh my god.
Oh, you did just get the demon lord.
Even then, I wasn't doing too bad.
Does he get the same buff as when you fight him?
Yes, which makes him retarded.
Yeah, he's just immortal, okay.
It's bullshit as fuck when fighting. Invalid target. It's raining fucking frogs. Oh no, you don't, you fucking old gun. Raising the dead with my holy powers. I don't know if they're holy, Kib. I think they're evil.
Holy power.
Holy power. I got the power. Oh, everybody. Beep, 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 beep. Bonk. Basically, our goal is just to attrition them down through long, bloody, grinding, grueling warfare.
And then straight to hell.
No, he's still alive, goddamn it. Oh, no, he's fucking dead, so look at the bright side. Ooh, more fish diver tonight, Kibbo. Hashtag Sockman, hashtag Femgar, hashtag FitKib. Probably not tonight, if I had to guess. I might be busy. Besides, it's not like there's any new content. I've got stuff I need to take care of.
Then I won't cry.
That's what I'll kill Squealy instead. Yeah, send Squealy to hell.
You know what Kib could do, you know?
Send Squealy to hell?
Kib could do a little thing called Kick Tips.
He's like, I don't like Kib anymore.
I think Squealy feels like Kib should, do the things he was paid to do.
I think Chatfish owe me. Like, what? Chatfish? You know, because they're very sad. Very sad.
We're on their way. Many times I have to contact Lycanfish when he doesn't sleep. This Frederick. Is it that the artists, contact them first, or The Chatfish come through them.
Artists will usually contact the Chatfish.
Okay. So wait for him to contact you, and then when he does, make sure you get back to him.
Yep.
More often than not, Chatfish just don't get back to the artist, and they lose out on their Chatfish.
Well, I don't think they've ever lost out on them, really.
Maybe a couple of them.
Some of them, yes, but there were people that came, bought something, and then left and never came back. It's like, okay, you're never gonna get it if you never ask for it. And it has 30 days if you don't fucking get it like lined up.
So it's pretty.
I didn't mean to give him a speed bonus, though that's quite horrifying. Astaroth can go faster than normal.
He goes speed.
Maybe if Chatfish were a powerful wizard, we wouldn't have this problem.
Charlotte says, I just complain to Lucky Fish, usually about him being in the wrong time zone. He can't help being Australian. Forgive him.
Gene Metals, no!
But never forget his sins.
And then destroy these Australians.
I want to know, by the way, the Australians we have a Discord are always autistic.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. The Australian. Alright, we're going into battle. You gotta be ready, little Chatfish, to die for the cause. Whoa, whoa.
Tell me what to do. I'll try.
He's gonna walk straight into an ambush. See you in hell, Yogo.
Yogo has been defeated.
What is the meaning of this? We have a bargain.
What was I to do? Yogo would have seen if Abraxis had aided you.
Why did you not use Sarabella?
She was not ready. She will be very soon.
So you tell me. We will need to banish Abraxis to keep the others in the dark.
Oh, that is quite all right. After all, Abraxis is a very good actress.
My God.
Keep up the act.
As time went on, the situation looked more and more grim. I was no closer to defeating Marduk, and the tensions between the gods had grown deeper.
Discretion must now be our guide. Of Yogo's failure, Persephone and her allies will be aware.
Abraxis will delay Persephone with the tale of her narrow escape from Golgatha.
It is Pyro's new creation that must concern us now. James has failed to neutralize it, and it does possess surprising destructive powers.
My God. The treachery, the treason of the gods, Chatfish. How could this have come to this, chat?
How could this happen to keep... He made us keep sticks.
James, it is time to take advantage of Persephone's frequent and generous donation of territories into my safekeeping.
James is a homo squeal.
James' champion Charlotte was taken captive in her attack on Cindercrag. You shall free her and make overtures of peace to her master.
I feel like overtures of peace to Persephone are not gonna go well because it's just it strikes me as nip.
It's me, Sean. You can assume that I will stick to my word.
In Cindercrag, the site of Charlotte's captivity, Pyro had constructed a weapon of mass destruction called the pyrrolic Dynamo.
Acme does $2. So it's Tweenson then. Tweenson then.
Animate acumen, you dirty little chatfish. She's like, I wash 7 times a day. I don't believe that.
Once she was sufficiently weakened, Pyro captured Charlotte and put her to work in the Dynamo instead of banishing her. Her altar is still out there, but Buta has set many guards near it. Set Charlotte free by destroying the Dynamo, and make sure she's not banished.
Dynamo.
I wonder what this Dynamo does.
Guard me.
Beep, beep, beep.
Abominations are very nasty. Their projectiles do a lot of damage at long range, and anything under their path is also hit.
Right away.
Meaning that their shots have creep.
Have what?
Doesn't it leave a trail of grossness that does damage?
Squilly. Never speak to me again. No kidding. Get mad.
This is VC. Never comes back.
Leaves the Discord server. And then asks this little sad cat's like walking on the side of the road. All around kitties are familiar meow meows. What up meow meows? Yeah, yeah. Summoning things. They're coming. They're chewing. It's a bombard over there. I don't like bombards.
Don't tease us, Reggie. Getting our hopes up. This little harlot retired bounty hunter.
You can't fool me. I've already won.
But it could only do it once in a while.
Way for the ambassador.
My ears.
Dude's getting fucking slaughtered by that.
It's getting a little loud, Squealy. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum.
This fire damage is fucking nasty.
Bum, bum. Oh, I didn't do that again. I tried. Weep, 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 weep. The benefit of this map being so big is that the attacks, every time they do an attack, they lose so many souls. Ah, shit. They're gonna be liberating some of their souls they lost. You ready to fight, little bucket fishies? Hit it with everything we got. Come on!
India says the streamer really likes this game, huh?
Sacrifice is pretty awesome. It's one of my favorite old games. It's up there.
It's not perfect, however.
Nope, but it's fun. There we go. Okay, we got that. Welcome stream, little presso. The amount of souls we're getting out of this is truly tremendous.
You could always, you know, make some nether fiends.
Good. And I may just... But for now I'm going to secure the souls I have and capitalize on the advantage we've built up. What? No!
You got a fucking volcano.
No! Bullshit. Hi, Chatfish! Chatfish! Oh no!
Gonna fuck you up.
Nah!
Rip.
Oh, that's bullshit. This level is absolute bullshit. I just died.
Excuse me, your altar has been desecrated.
No!
Rip.
And so Kibbs committed Kibbicide. No longer was he a streamer. He became a vagabond, a street urchin, basically wandering corners and back alleys, aimless and lost, without soul, without focus. He drifted from place to place. Just get we pretty depressing. To be fair, we're getting to the part of the game where it gets a little bullshitty. Anyways, you know, and
you can give yourself souls and boost the power of the nether fiend to the point that it's invincible. Yes, yes.
That would be funny, unironically. Be like, and the nether fiend is a demigod among gods, a god among gods. Well, just fucking one hit something and the game just crashed. Like, blue screens of PC.
Actually, the problem with the nether fiend is that you have to, if you go past a certain threshold, it loops back around.
It does? Oh, that's right.
Like you want to give it like 30
It's one of those
souls,
overflow
that's
errors
maximum.
or whatever it's called.
Yep.
God damn it, chat. Oh, I think Squeakerface is a interesting game. However, an integer overflow, yes. A lot of old games have integer overflows. Oh, I made myself sad. I made myself sad. Oh well, we'll play multiplayer now, Squealy. But before we do multiplayer, I'll show chat something. So, I gotta close the game anyways. And I boot up Radman. I think we used Ragman, right? Yeah, we used Ragman, didn't we? Squealy.
Yep. Where's your... Okay. I also need to move my Google screen, my Google tabs over to the
Now,
other.
Before I talk to the chatfish again, she's so goddamn chubby, chatfish. I know you're chubby, little fucking fat fish. Don't give me that I'm yellow and you can't yell at me bullshit. Bamp, 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 beep, beep, bamp, 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 bamp. The music in the game is so special. I'm getting art. Yeah, no, I'm going to show them some terrestrial war stuff. It's been a while since Chatfish have been able to see things. I like how Carlos is banned. You know, because it bugged out. Or because... Alright, chat, hold on, chat, calm down, chat, no, chat. This is just fly away and like out the window. You know, because it's like the fucking thing not having things. Those just make me happy. Chat can't see that though.
No longer goat.
Bam. Borkums. Chat can see that. They're loud. Yeah, it's been a while since we posted anything relevant to tabletop in there. So we'll just we'll start strong, right? That's the plan. Start strong.
Sound option. Turn everything down even more.
There we go. All right, Chatfish, let's look at some pictures. Picture time to the peaches. Well, and then they just, you know, do what they do. They just sort of sit there. Now, that's my douche. That little Maggie. Look at her. Isn't she cute and stuff? That's when I was doing taxes. Maggie was trying to help me. She was like, don't worry, the government's gonna take me and take me away. Ooh. Maggie's pretty young. I think she's just a year old now. She's pretty floofy. Look at that Borkum. So floofy and shit. Chat's having a hard time wrapping their heads around the fact that it's got 4 legs. What the fuck? Yeah, that's Maggie right there. Now, the next thing we're going to show you here is the text and font for the Astrians. For those, if anyone can decipher that, you'll get a free thing. No one can though, so it's funny. First one to decipher it gets something. When that one day comes, remember when you get the font. First one to remember and come back to here gets something. But you have to decipher it, chat. This is, by the way, modern Astrian. Not ancient Astrian, which is a little different and a little more square and rigid.
Is it based on any language?
It's based on Astrian. It's based on Old Astrian, which is more rigid. Some of these symbols are
real world
originating. No, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you anything. That's too much information. Yeah, it's completely made up as far as you know.
I'm supposed to decipher it.
That's not my problem. Now, the more important thing is Carlos can't spell. So it's Captain. Bear in mind, our artist is dyslexic. It's an unfortunate thing because spelling is hard. I just noticed it's misspelled. My eyes automatically added an A there. Captain. Well, I mean, it sounds right? That's the captain of the gunners, of the gunner infantry. It's designed there. These little pouches open up and have little pellets inside with little black powder. Very cool. And here's some pose ideas we had for them, little sketches of our little troopers. They look pretty cool. I have a feeling I'm going to like the gunpowder units. They're going to be very boomy. Very splooty. Here's the cannoneer men coming along. These are the boys with the cannon sticks. The cannon unit's actually in modeling stages right now, so that's going to be coming next. They're very nice, very nice. An Astrian heavy knight on his little Lyak there. He's got the holy crest there. Pretty nice. The Helion. And we have a lighter one. Lighter cav, heavier cav. Kind of cute. Pretty neat. And this is new. This is actually what we're working on today. This is the Lord system, or the custom Lords. So what's interesting about the tabletop, what sets ours definitely apart, besides a lot of other things when you start to actually play it. For those who are part of the tabletop, you already know that our stuff is quite dramatically different. And that's mostly in part thanks to the tabletop team. In fact, they helped emphasize those points and make it better. So it's not just like, Warhammer Fantasy, which is kind of boring, just blocks versus blocks. Not very interesting. But with our stuff, what's nice is we've got the custom Lord system, and I'm looking forward to this because they're implementing it now. This is something we had been talking about for quite a while, and it's basically the ability to make custom Lords so that you can, pick their war gear. There's different helmets, whatever, and then you can also choose what abilities they get and things of that nature, and it sort of allows you to build and take control of things, right? Which is kind of nice, because how our armies work is armies are made up of characters, right? Because an army in a lot of games is just a general, and then there's the soldiers, and it doesn't really have any spirit to it. It's kind of soulless because the people who make those things don't really care often. It's more about the abstract angle is what they're looking for rather than the actual detail. What I thought would be cool is if we focused on the character, because every army is actually just a party of characters when you think about it. Like you have, your generals, you have your sub-commanders, you have, your logistics personnel. Now, they don't really matter as much in the, actual tabletop war game side of things, but there's plans in motion that might make them even more relevant, especially with the war campaign stuff. But, the thing that I always liked about our tabletop setting is that lords are what sort of dictate your army composition, and sub-commanders as well, because certain dudes allow certain things to be brought along, and certain characters have certain builds, and the idea is that there's synergy between the characters and the army units so that they kind of, can help each other out. Like Captain Ennius Ender can, buff, militia dudes, which is nice, which makes them, very, very nasty. And that's kind of like the overall focus of the tabletop board game, which is, again, why I want to promote it, because I want Chatfish to check it out. Rapier Chumba, as we call him, or Little Chumba, if you will. Just keep giving him nicknames. Chumba, it's time for you to get into the stream if you have a spare moment. If you're busy, don't worry about it, because you are actually directly working on the tabletop while I'm mostly just doing lore stuff. So you can actually answer Chatfish questions. This is going to turn into an improv Q&A because I want to take a break from playing video games. I've actually been wanting to do more development-related streams because I'm all video gamed out.
For those, Kibbo.
I'm all video gamed out. The issue is they can ask for it, but it may not be ready. Technically, we're not ready to do one now, but I want to do one now because I'm kind of bored of playing video games. I want to do something else. Isn't that right, Chumba?
Sacrifice.
Chumba.
Yes.
You've been called Chumba on stream now. It's over.
You already were calling me that on stream.
It's Chumba. Your name is Chumba now. It's a great name. It's better than Hans's.
It is a name.
Hans told me.
You're right. It is better than cum soup.
He's fucking mad about that. Now you're definitely on a shit list now. So. So yeah, the tabletop war game. Want to tell Chatfish, how do you get into it? If Chatfish want to come play the terrestrial war stuff, what would they need to do in order to come play?
Well, right now they would need the tester tag, but upon getting that, they'd get access to the rules document and the placeholder table we're using in Tabletop Sim, which has all the assets you need to get a game started, as well as the rule doc in the table itself. And then, pretty straightforward on the rule doc, you can actually start playing as you read it. It's formatted to basically each section set up so you can literally read a section and start playing.
Yeah. And so pretty much, suffice to say, chat, all you got to do is join the Discord. Link is in the description. And go to the Tag Me in Brother Room and just ask to become a Terrestrial War. Ask for the Terrestrial War tag. Or the hashtag TAW tag. Because that will get you into the tester rank, and then in the a section beneath the Bickering Bunch section is the Terrestrial stuff. There you can actually like organize games and try playing it. And the reason why I'm promoting this is because we need more testers. More people playing the game, more people giving feedback is good, and it's good that you guys get trying this early, earlier than later, because the sooner we have more testers, the sooner we can figure things out. We're going to eventually do this one day in the far distant future when the video game is in a situation in which it's ready for that. We'll be doing basically what we're doing for the same thing for the tabletop to the video game. Because the idea is getting people on early so we can get initial feedback right away so we can start, you know, refining things, polishing things, making things nice. And you guys have done a pretty goddamn awesome job with the tabletop. Well, originally I was involved in the beginning. I'm not involved as much anymore, which makes me sad. But because I'm always working on lore and stream with little Chatfish. But the tabletop team with Chumba and Fairbear has been doing really good. Like, they've managed to make a really good fucking game out of it. And we're actually devoting more assets to it, like to Tabletop Sim. So a lot more things will be coming in the future, and we got big plans when it comes to the integration with Tabletop Sim and all that nature there. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see it come together. Not to mention when we eventually get like custom table and room, and then like the backdrops will be nice, and then with Robert's music, it's going to look so spectacular. It's been like lurking in the back of my mind every day for like a good while now.
Yeah,
Also,
it's going to be really good. Also, we do have community meetings and even set up games for people to play every Sunday.
Yeah, games are organized Sunday. Those are the weekly meetings too. They're in the morning, for at least U.S. time. Okay, you need to join this because it's literally the thing you need in your life. That 6227 donates $5. Say, I just remembered something, Lord Gibbs, about hashtag henchman story. You won't need to read much as the characters are voiced. Hashtag per hashtag sock fund. Okay, well, I mean, we already reduced it to its basic cost because I already realized how short that was. It wasn't something like Oop or something like that because it's actually, even if I did, it's only a few hours, which is not a big deal.
So,
Because reading for me, like I can read for fucking hours and hours and hours and hours. Like that's not an issue. Some channels and some people I know, they struggle to read. Like I'm not very good at reading, but I can do it forever. As long as I have a drink, basically. To whip me whistle, as it were, chat. Because me whistle gets dry and cracked. But yeah. So the custom lord thing is pretty cool. Because Carlos was putting this together because we were talking about the lords. And what was interesting is how much excitement I'm always hearing about our setting continually grow. Which is actually something that's been aggravating me. Because I want to push out those goddamn lore videos. But we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. We will, however, be putting the lore videos when they're ready. The first one is basically, with Rapier's help, we basically finished it more or less. We sent it over to Rob, and he's going to actually do his thing on it and then voice it. And then once we get the voice, once it's satisfied, we're going to hand it off to Robert. And then Robert's going to add music to it. And then we're also going to, at the same time, be getting the artwork for it so that we can slap it up. But I don't know how long that's going to take for the music and the art side, but the writing side, we're done with the lore. So the first lore video is already in the art, music, and basically like recording side, which is nice. It's got some tweakies to the script because I let the narrators tweak it to make it easier for them to read, so long as it preserves the entire idea of the story. But yeah, that's pretty exciting because I'm looking forward to that. Because once we get the first one out, then we can start pumping them out. Go ahead.
It's like Grumpy Rat's asking if you're brand new to wargaming, how easy it is to get into Terrestrial War.
That's a good question. How easy is it?
I may be biased because I am working on it, but it is pretty easy. I mean, I've never actually. This will be the first wargame I've actually gotten really involved into, and we've tried to format the rules to be as easy to understand as possible. And for point of reference, we had someone, actually a couple people now, who never touched Wargame at all, and they were able to pick it up and start playing pretty quickly.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too. I'm actually, see, the best part is I haven't had time to actually play the damn thing, and I want to, but I'm gonna force myself to wait, because as soon as you guys finish the Illumine stuff, I'm gonna get the custom lord thing in. What I want to do is we're gonna do like a stream where we'll just do it from like the beginning, from scratch, very just starting from the beginning. We'll grab Reggie, and we'll grab you, and we'll grab Baby Fairbear, and we'll just do it all together, and we'll stream it to chat. And then we'll start doing terrestrial war things, because what I want to start on this channel is actually more stuff related to the project. Like, I want to do actual tournaments, and I do want to do prizes, which I've talked about with the team. So one of the things I've actually talked about with the artists and the team that we're all cool with is when we do the first tournament, which is going to be a while because the game's not ready yet. But when we do the first tournament, we'll do a custom lord as the prize. So the person who wins gets a concept art of their custom lord, and then an STL, and that'll be modeled and put in there. And I want that to be the prize, because I think that'd be fucking super cool to have that be like the thing, like the fact that people can get their own lords in there, because that would be so cool.
That'd be cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm expecting the like character upgrade and kit system to be the next version once we flesh out the magic a bit more.
I mean, you guys have been doing pretty good. Anytime I get time to actually check up on you guys are always like light years ahead of where you were last time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, when I found out you guys are like as far as you are, the fact that we're just like, there's a good chance that it will be well into beta, I'd say, like this year, based on your current trajectory. Obviously that might change, because you can never really detect a hurdle until you wham right into it. Happens all the time.
Yeah. I would expect core rules to be done probably before the third quarter of the year.
We're on good track. I mean, things may change. I would never ever put a date to anything, but I always put mental dates towards things when I'm working towards goals. It's always a good indicator, but the reality is it always should take as long as it absolutely needs to. I've never played a board game, says Decompresso. That's okay. The idea is that many people won't have, right? Like, the game is made in such a way that you're supposed to be able to pick it up and play it without ever having played a tabletop war game at all. And if you're experienced, well, it just means it'll be easier to get into. It's going to be made, the rules are going to be made in such a way that they're meant to be clear and concise. That is the entire idea when we talked about it with everyone that wanted to work on it and the volunteer team, was that it's something that it should be prioritized, like it should be something you'll be able to pick up and play, and the rule book should be made in such a way that you're not doing that fucking awful thing that other ones do. I won't name anything, but where you'd like, it's like page 32, and then it's like, oh, but you need to reference page 64 and page 85 and also page 102.
Yes,
and it's like,
that's been a constant thing to not do. That is cancer.
Production of cheat sheets. Like, what's funny is we've already made designs, so this is hilarious. We never actually had a chance to fully meet with the tabletop team, but Carlos and I, along with Fairman, basically came up with the idea with cheat sheets for spell cards and unit cards to make it easy to reference characters and units without having to use the rulebook. Basically, any way to put less wear and tear on the rulebook as much as possible, and so that you're not paging too much. References, basically, so that you can have them out and easy, making the game easy to play, fun to play, and quick to play, because the goal is to be able to play the game without having to constantly go back and forth in pages. And what was actually fascinating is that you guys managed to come up with the exact same thing. I thought that was adorable. And then that's just the whole great minds think alike. But we
already have the unit and spell placeholders on the table we've been using.
Yep. I've been thinking it's about time we do Terrestria at War or Mixers Project meetings on a weekly basis. Not meetings, but streams, talking about the production and the actual progress. Because now that we've revealed the backlore stuff, the stuff that we were, I think, the most concerned about, and by we, I mean me, I was not sure how chat would handle the community would handle the sci-fi aspects of the setting, but because you guys reacted with universal, like, happiness. Just the fact, I think you're just content starved. Maybe that was the issue. But when we started to actually unveil like the scope and magnitude of the setting, people were like, holy shit, this is huge, this is so cool. And I was like, nice. People's reaction wasn't like, I'm not interested anymore, because that was my fear. It was gonna be like, I don't like it, and then they just like waddle away and be like, no, my life's work wasted. See, when you work on things for decades, oh my god, it has been. Jeez, no, it hasn't been decades, but it's damn near close. We are over a decade in terms of how long I've been working on this. You get these preconceptions of how people will react when they see something. And I've had this tendency to always think that people will react much more negatively and violently than they actually do. In actuality, people have reacted nothing but like either supporting or been even more enthusiastic than they were before. Because when I started to unveil things, initially people were like, holy shit, I'm more interested. I'm like, what? My thought was that they're going to be the complete opposite. I'm happy.
No, that's a case of preparing for the worst case scenario.
Yep, I've been preparing for that for a long time. You can never
And
trust
then when
a
it doesn't
chatfish.
happen, it's always a nice surprise.
It is. It's massively nice. Also, chat, what do you think this guy is saying? I know what it is. I'm pretty sure. Carlos didn't change the writing, did he?
No, I don't think so.
So he rewrote it in Astrian.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. If anyone in chat guesses it, we can give them a digital cookie.
Well, they could back up the stream to when you had the language.
Well, it didn't have the references to like the English lettering.
That's true.
So like Star Wars? In a way, kind of. I mean, that's sci fantasy, and I guess our stuff is kind of like sci fantasy too. Like that's the general theme, but not as loose as what I would say, because
more based in reality.
Yeah, more, well, not just reality, but it's also more grounded by a lot.
That's what I mean.
Like it's more codified, because the big difference between Star Wars and our setting, if I could think comparatively, is Star Wars is very much high fantasy. It's like it's out there. It doesn't really track itself. It doesn't really take itself seriously, and it's got a lot of moments where it just sort of goofs off a lot. Our setting is more clear and concise, and it's also more. Well, that's always the thing, right? There's so much media for Star Wars, so of course there's going to be a lot more contradictory bullshit, right? But because we only have what we officially produced, everything is very accurate, if that makes sense. Like, if something works a certain way, it works a certain way, and there's no deviation from that. And that's good because it feels like the rules are respected of the universe. You don't have characters who are, like, breaking or bending rules, or I'm not really gone, I just came back to life, because we have a whole thing about, like, the writing about, like, if they're dead, let them go. Like, if he dies, he dies. I'm coming after your cheeks. Chatfish are a little bit happy, but also a little cringe. So does Chatfish have any questions? Because now's the time to ask. This is going to be a little bit of a surprise Q&A.
Wow. Also, to anyone who's worried about, like, oh, well, I don't have any wargaming experience, that's actually even better if you don't, because then it's a fresh set of eyes to look at it. And then we can learn even more that way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we already have people on the team who have a lot of tabletop experience and people who have some experience with working on stuff related to it. Not having it or having experience, there is values to both sides. There is no such thing as like, well, I don't have any experience, I can't help. That's bullshit. If anything, if you don't have experience, you're actually a little bit more valuable in a way, because you not having experience actually allows you to look at things, because there's a benefit to people coming into something who have never experienced something before. You have a fresh pair of eyes. You've never quite seen something like that. And that's one of the most important things to take away from that. But yeah, when it comes to it, I think the big thing with our setting, and one of the big things, learning from the mistakes of many, many others, which there are quite a few, is always going to be respecting what you have created. And that's something I think we've definitely instilled. It's a recent subject because of what's happening currently, but I won't get too much into it. But when you make something, like, you respect it when you write it, right? Like you have to adhere
You
to the
value it.
rules. Yeah, you value it. You value the people that care about it, and if you truly care about it, then there are rules. Like the lore does matter. Like you can't be like, oh, well, we can work that in there somehow. That kind of mentality is like, oh, that's kind of work that in. What does that mean? Cramming something in where it doesn't belong is what it sounds like. Like if it fits and belongs, then it belongs. But if it doesn't fit, it's like the circle can't go in the square hole,
It does go in a square hole.
I know, that's the joke.
Yeah.
The triangle goes into square
the
hole.
triangle go in a square hole. Where's the rectangle and in the square hole?
The rectangle, the square hole. That clip was quite funny. But all in all, when it comes to the tabletop side of things, the digital tabletop is very approachable because it is tabletop sim based, which is one benefit. And we are gonna produce physical stuff, but by and large, I think we're gonna keep it. For now, it's free, right? So if you want, you can go download the models and stuff free on our website, battlegamestudios.com, which is linked in the Discord server. Or no, actually, I think it is linked there too. I meant to say the description. You can download them for free there. And the reason why is because I just want as many people to try it as possible. And that's why we've made it so easy and approachable for you guys. Because you should be able to approach it, try it, things of that nature. Because you need to. You need to. You need new things in your life. And you've kind of all been stuck in the same old, same old. None of you have really done anything new. And you're kind of decadent. Like, look at you. Like, Raccoon, just sitting there. Hero Yui, Frank, Florial, Portrait Seal, Boulder, Hugo Fugi, Sturha, like Compresso even, Jano. They don't have anything. You've got nothing. You have no tabletop. You've got nobody that cares about you, and to be honest, could you blame them?
Look at them though.
Are you sure you want to go that far, Gabriel?
I'm just rubbing the salt in because
content little chatfish.
And it's time you get something new in your life, and it's time for you to embark on your true destiny. Becoming Chatfish was but one step of that journey, chat. Now it's time for you to become slaves and play the tabletop over and over again until you find everything. Oh, and Rifford and Getty too. Yeah, look. The lemonfish rise to the surface as they realize their fate is sealed. It is their time now to suffer, their time now to slave away. But beyond the tabletop things, we got long-term plans. None of these matter now, but my end goal with the tabletop, I think, besides tying it into the video game and the franchise, because we already have a franchise, which is quite cool. Granted, it's not particularly hard to create one, it's just like very expensive. Holy shit. But the one interesting thing is that I'm very curious to see how it ends up. Once we're done with the tabletop war game, we do the naval editions, and then we eventually do the grand campaign stuff. And how that ties together will be interesting with the pen and paper. Because the idea is that this will be a very much a expanded system in the long run, in which you can pretty much lay out the entire fantasy of everything in there. So it'll be really cool to see. We're so lucky that Baffios joined the team. Like, I want to point out that Baffios is the enabler for this. If Beefos didn't join, like, this would never have been possible. It was literally the fact that we got a modeler, and a fucking, like, very talented modeler at that.
Baffios is great.
He's done a great job. Honestly, everybody on the team and project and all the support have been instrumental in actually making this possible. But one of the things I think we'll do next is we should do Chatfish, is we should probably do like sort of a Q&A on not just necessarily like everything, but just the tabletop. And then we'll set it up and we'll actually show it to people. Because we'll do like a demonstration. And part of me wonders if we should get like a recording and like make a recorded how to play thing when it's done. No point doing that now, mind you. Especially when things are in flux or possible to change. Because then it's like, well, gotta update that. Frederick is just a happy little chatfish. Good, good. But all in all, I think things are turning out very good. The tabletop is the thing I did not expect to blow up the way it did. And how incredibly well it's doing is just beyond me. But it's all thanks to you, chat. And Choomba as well. Goddamn Choomba.
I exist as well, yes.
The one thing that I'm eager to see is Chatfish's reaction to the lore stuff, as well as how we learn from that. A Porkums has been summoned. Squealy.
Hey, no, here's the fucking shut up.
You must tickle the Porkums. Oh, I can be part of the demonstration? Yeah, we'll use you, Draconis, to be the part of the demonstration where you get beat up.
That's true. If anyone wants to beat up Draconis, he does want to play.
Has Draconis ever won a game?
No.
If you're talking about the one that
nice, he's never won a game.
If you're talking about the one that technically lost because he lost connection.
Yeah, that was funny. So Spider Pig tells us that Draconis beats him, and we're all disappointed in Spider Pig for allowing Draconis to have a victory. And then we find out that no, he didn't actually win. Spider Pig, being the little soy boy he did, let him quote unquote win because his power went out. That's bullshit.
Actually, no, the last game Draconis did, I remember, I think he won because his opponent resigned.
We need to have a medal that people can get and print, and then they can pin it to their thing, and it says, I beat Draconis in Terrestrial War. And you can wear that as a badge of honor.
I didn't lose to Draconis. Should be the bare minimum.
Where is the lore I must feed? The issue with the lore is that there is so fucking much of it. Like, if I could... Like, Choomba and Squealy understands how much bullshit there is to the setting. Like, it's fucking massive. But the issue is making it in a way that's palatable and digestible for you so that you're not looking at a brick. That's what we're working on right now, actually. The first video we're actually working on, and I'll pull up some art of it, because I can show you this Chatfish, because this is turning into a developer stream. It's fun. Oh, cool. I forgot we're working on the palace stuff, too. So we're working on pre-lore. So to understand our setting, there are different ages or eras, right? Actually, there's technically ages and eras, and they're technically two different things right now. Ages refer to grand spans of time, like thousands of years, you know. And an era refers to, 100 years ago. For example, the Astrian timeline, there is the War of the Five Emperors, which took place 200 years before the start of the game. The tabletop miniatures are based on the era where the game is set, the 1022 AE Crisis, which includes the War of the Father that happened a few decades prior. And before that, the war of... the final battle between the Astrian Empire and the Nephir at the Great Battle of Broken Storms along the river of Osos, which was instrumental in halting the Horde's advance through the Astrian Empire, which ever since then has been the new borders of the Astrian Empire in its current state on the mainland. So that was a instrumental thing there. And while some people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you'll get it when we get into the lore videos and you start seeing, like, oh my god, that all makes sense. And you'll be so happy. Where's the stuff I put? Oh, they're so cute. They're so adorable. You're not ready. You're not ready to see them yet, chat. Oh, maybe you can see.
It kind of says, he broke the center of my army, but I was wrapping up his flanks nicely.
Yeah, I was wrong. It was a draw, I guess, instead of him winning.
He says one victory. I'm not so sure about that.
I'll show some of these little sketchies. They have a little bit of lore in here, too. So you can actually read them if you want. I'm not going to really focus on the lore too much. So we're working on the pre-lore stuff. And I need to go up.
I forgot about that one.
Okay, chat can't see that yet. When we're done working on those, they can see that later. I just... That's going to be a surprise for later, chat, okay? Capiche? Capiche. Okay. Clip Studio, you have the other secrets. Yes, you do. Okay. So I learned something when I was remaking this map. Here, hold on. Oh, naked armane. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. So a long time ago, before Terrestria, there was some stuff that happened, right? Ancient times. This is the interstellar map. The interstellar map is the second age, and the current age is the third age. And you'll find out what happened as to why mankind has become a little feudal kingdoms on a planet later. But you'll find some stuff here that's kind of interesting. When I figure out what layers on what thing, because these maps are always so hard to figure out what's what anymore. God help me. Oh, is it this one? I think it's this one. No, I don't think it is. Which thing is it? I never know. There we go. Ah, yes. This is the part when I realized that this is actually the current timeline for the prologue stuff we're working on. So this is... how do I explain this? So there are different layers, right? Yes. So if I flip things on, and I flip this on, will this explain things to chat better? This will. Okay, so our setting's massive. So if we wind back the clock a little bit, the current thing we're actually working on is set in 0 a.m. or approximate 0 a.m., which is after migration. This is basically the Rohirrim Empire. They are a massive interstellar power. They've recently defeated the Republic, which is the core power, and they have sort of just kind of waned away. They're the new hegemon. So right now what we're doing is humanity has drifted across the stars, and they finally found a galaxy to settle because they had some crazy dreams and stuff. And we'll get into that when we get into the lore video stuff, but them settling here is basically the pretext for everything that happens later down the line, because as you can see, Kibbo's does timelines, and we do maps, and things get a little crazy, really crazy, rather fucking quickly. Especially when you start to expand on things, and as timelines move forward, things change, and things fractionalize, and nations secede from one another. It gets very, very heavy very quickly. I remember when I first started writing that, and I was like, yeah, this is easy. It's just like the Republic, there's the Rohirrim, then there's just the Eurytus, and then there's, you know, the Aum and some other things and what nature. And we're talking about like this great history, and it's just, it gets so heavy so quickly, Chatfish. You have to be careful.
That you needed to name all the different planets, and then the logistics, and then...
It sucks. Yeah, the logistics system, the network was something else. That was the lane, but let's not talk about that. Otherwise, Chatfish's brains are going to implode. I don't think they can quite handle everything at once. But basically, we're working on the prequel lore, if that makes sense, the prologue lore. Because when you're building a grand setting, if you're familiar with what Tolkien did, he wrote a vast world. And in this vast world, he then, you know, started to actually recreate the actual story itself. This is the same way I kind of like to write, too. I like to build, like, these massive world and setting, and then all of a sudden writing characters and stories in the setting is, like, the easiest fucking thing ever, Chat. It's like, ah, yes, and there's this guy named Khazar. And while you know who that is, Chatfish don't know. But he's a Rohirrim emperor who decided that, you know, the Republic needed to pay for the crimes they'd committed. Because in my belief, I like the idea that every culture and every civilization should be as rich and as much depth as you know, our world does. Like United States of America, right? United States of America, what's the origins of US, right? It's only like 300 years old, right? But it's still a lot of history it went through. It went through a civil war. It wasn't originally the United States. They had a war of secession against, you know, the British Empire. And technically, the colonists that came over here came to this land and then had to, you know. And so then you can track that history back to the British Empire, where they originated from, the European powers. And you could track it back to England's history, but when it was under Roman occupation and before the Iceni tribe and the various other, you know, tribes that lived there. And basically, you can follow this whole thread back and back and back and back to as far back as what we know, right? Like
that's only a portion of the story.
But we can follow the thread of the story of what happened, and basically like that. I like to write stories like that. And so whenever I make a faction, we do the same thing. With the Eurytus and their legacy, they are simply just an extension thread of the Terrestrial story. The Terrestrial story is actually just a footnote, and we decided to expand that because what better way to start a setting or a new IP with starting something rather small, rather than trying to focus on the second age and the, you know, interstellar politics of this. It'd take forever. Like, it's already a nightmare. Do I even have the other map open? I do. No. But where's my Terrestrial one, man? Where did I stuff that? You remember? It's in contextual, isn't it? Did I put it in there? I didn't. I could never.
I don't think.
Environmental art. I always misplace the planet. I know it's hard. Like, how do you misplace a planet? But believe you me, I do this more often than you think. Where I just stuff a planet somewhere and I'm just trying to forget where it is. Good enough for old Kib. This is not actually representative of the actual map, or the planet, or its environment. This was a test way back when, but this is Terrestria itself. And so you'll notice some things are similar because we modeled it off of Terra, because Terra is the greatest way to model tectonic plates and everything like that. So, because we wanted to have it be accurate, so whenever there's mountain ranges, or maybe not necessarily mountain ranges, it tells you tales about them, right? So the Ethereal Mountains are old, and they're also very old mountains, but they're also not new, like, you know, the Himalayas, because you don't have two tectonic plates smooshing against each other, which are making new mountains, right? Which makes them very different in how they look. And so the world's rich with history, and the environment also shapes the people and the cultures they're in, too. I suppose he meant zoomed out summary. What? Don't read Chatfish when you're ranting, Kibs. You get distracted. Sometimes chat says something to catch my eyes. I'm be stuffing. Oh, Jano, terrible person. Kibs starts small. Also, Kibs, here's my galactic map. Don't get me started or I'll pull out the universe map. That one is actually just scribbles because we don't actually have art of that. There's no point in commissioning art for things that aren't going to be used, you know? But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the overall shape of the map. It took a while. The best way to start was to start with just shaping ideas and like where we want certain cultures. It's like, okay, well then you sort of lay them out and you figure out where the equatorial line, and you figure out how big the planet is. And, you know, you figure out how long a year takes and how long a day is, and then you realize what the hell you're doing with your life, and then you're like, okay, well that can kind of be a bit abstracted. We didn't need to go into that much depth. That's what we call world builder syndrome, Chatfish. I am says Kib to take over GW. I wouldn't want that fucking disaster. No, garbage. I don't want trash, chat. I want actual content. Jano says, I'm not a terrible person. I'm a bad person. Bino is a terrible person. Let's be nice to Bino here.
No, don't be nice to Bino.
Bino's okay. He just has well, he gets excited sometimes.
And then he won't drop certain things.
Don't. You're going to give me a migraine. A Beano migraine, if you will. Beano migraines are not something... Yeah, bean grains make me sad. Bean grains make me angry. Nobody needs a bean grain in their life. Oh, hey, I found the right map. Good. Let's just cover up all the secrets and other layers that chat's not allowed to see. The chat's not allowed to see. Okay, that's not particularly terrible. This is a work in progress. There's the map I was looking for. This is where Kibs is mostly spending his time, scribbling. So there's an older map that has about 400 layers. It takes forever to open. And this is the new map, which is the condensed version, so that it also looks a little nicer too. We had the help of somebody who is no longer with us. But they helped sort of sketch it out. There's still some tweaking. We got to redo the map again because it's a little off. But you can see that we kind of flesh things out. But the big thing is historical, right? So one thing I like to talk about is the history, right? So the Astrian Empire, I'm having a hard time today. Started as a little tiny nation, right? It started small. Because every nation has its history and origins. It was kind of like this, if I remember right. Boop. But it got bigger, as you can see, as it went north, and it went south over there, and it got those islands over there. And the big thing is, like, how did it get these, right? And we can kind of tell you because it's not a particular secret. Well, a long time ago, there was this thing called the Astro Dominion, which is over here. It used to be over here anyways. It was rather big, and it had a lot of land. And they were very much interested in expanding north here and claiming this little chunk of land by the Validia Mountains. Well, the Astrians didn't like that so much, so that led them into open arms, which also, this kingdom right here, which was originally not part of the empire, was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I also hate those guys a lot. And so they joined arms together, which that led to the first Astro Dominion Wars, which eventually led to, you know, this territory getting eventually nommed in here. It also led to all of that being added. No, don't save! All of this was also added to the Astro Empire, and they got bigger. And as time went on, they continued to expand till eventually Astrian Empire sort of looked like this when it came to its territory. I don't want to get too much into the nitty-gritty, or we'll be here for thousands of years. And that was how much of the mainland they had. Then they also had what we called the High Kings. And the High Kingdoms are basically kind of like satraps, right? They have their own little slices of land, but they also are part of like a joint alliance. They're allowed to practice their own faith and do their own thing, and things are pretty peachy. So they got quite big when you think about it. So they had all of that. Now you have to ask, why is it in the current map? Is this thing, this green ugly blob here, the Nephiric Horde, why are they all over here? Where did they come from? Well, they originated from what we call the Agorial. And this migration occurs, and I don't want to get into what caused that migration because we'll be here for all day. But basically a migration occurs, and that led them to want to go this way. But there's only so much food and resources in the world to begin with. And so as people migrate, you know, they eat up the land, they eat up the food, and they cause tension. And people start to pack up and move south, where there's more fertile land. Closer towards what we call the equatorial line, where it's a little toastier down here. More food, less winter. Actually, winter is kind of like that, but whatever. So they're going towards where they can grow stuff and eat. And so that led to what we call a crisis. At the same time that the Austrian Empire was in a civil war called the War of the Five Emperors, where there was a succession crisis over what to do about the death of Emperor Varro, I'm pretty sure. Because his wife, Emperor Varro's wife, is Zera. And Zera, yeah, that's the right one. Because their daughter, Armain and Ciri, and the other three, whose names I constantly forget.
They're not nearly as important. They don't have huge shits.
But basically, it all boils down to history. And history builds up character. So how these things came to be. Like, there's different faith maps, right? So it's like, you know, imagine this is Christianity, right? And Christianity's influence is often over the territory that it possesses, where it originates from. But in this case, it's the Celestial Starborn faith, and then it goes against other faiths, which are a little different. So there's a little bit of friction there. And how we have our faith system works is they use different magic types. So different faiths, different magic, which makes it kind of cool, gives it a little bit of extra flavor, extra seasoning, a little bit of spice. But that kind of paints a picture of how I like to write things and how the terrestrian history works. So we can go into detail about how things expanded quite a bit. And the worst part is that we track pretty much every nation, because the way I look at every kingdom or thing on this map is everybody's a player, right? So under the Nephiric Horde, there's actually different groups of culture. And different groups of culture are led by different groups of people, or cults or other things, and these players take their turns on the world stage. Everybody, like a board game, basically. So when writing it, everyone's taking their turn. So while the Austrian Empire is technically its own thing, right? It also has little players playing little games inside of it, doing their own little things. Thanks for deleting that layer, you muppet. So you got House Vala, which holds these lands here, and they're a player. You've got House Taurius, which controls these lands here. You've got House Lonium to the far north, which controls these lands here. And the houses, they have their own origin story. Most of them came into being after the War of the Five Emperors, because the crown had to cede a lot of power to various governors and generals, which led to the formation of different houses. House Concordia, House Tilius, and House Nataclisius over here. And these houses all play a different game. Some of them are in tune with the leading house, some of them not so much. And so they want to do different things, maybe take things in different directions. House Estacles has the vacant throne. They have no actual leader, a ripperoonie them, but they have the Council of Elders that sort of control things. House Taurius is very loyal to the Austrian Empire because they have these great generals who have always had a great history and with House Vala from like quite a long time. And they generally see a lot of boons and bonuses. Versus House Lonium, which is a little less, Austrian, I guess, if you go further north. And that mostly boils down to the fact that they're not as inclined, because culturally they're not as assimilated as the, other territories are, because there's actually a different ethnic group up there altogether within the empire. Versus the Nephiric Horde is a massive mess. You've got Ithrin, you've got Arnor, you've got Sulingar, and you got Aninvale, and you have Sulingir Forest. These groups here are not Nephiric, nor are many of the tribes that occupy, like the Neneri, the Rakiri, I think the Rakiri are there, and the Nori, I think they're there, or the Neneri, I might get them mixed up because I don't have the layer on. And these different groups, there's a lot of friction, a lot of not good things happening here. And so things are going to change as time settles, and certain things will be absorbed by certain cultures, and they'll shift over time. right? Because that's what makes it fun. But that's kind of the fun part about writing, because everyone has different goals, right? The Astrians have their goals, the Emperor, but the other House Lords have their own goals. Just like in the Nefir, you have the subjugated kingdoms, like Ithrin, and their histories, and they don't really like being subjugated so much. They might want the independence or autonomy back. And so all these players need to be doing something in the story. They can't just be sitting idly by, not playing the game, both internally and externally when it comes to geopolitics. They should be doing something, because most times, even in times of peace, a great deal is happening. Now, in the sense of the video game of the world, it might not result in something, you know, flashy happening on screen, but it should be mentioned, perhaps by some characters. A new trade deal, perhaps. A non-aggression pact. Perhaps the Astrian Empire has made an alliance with the Grand Duchy of Rosalion. Maybe. Now they're besties. But Rosalion doesn't like these fucking savages up here. They're kind of cringe. They think that they smell bad. And while the Astrian Empire shares the same faith as the Grand Duchy, they may not respect the same values. Or, worse, it could be like the Federal Republic of Galay. These little guys who sort of changed their faith a little bit. They believed in the same faith at one point, but then as they seceded, chose to believe in a sort of different interpretation of what happened in the War in the Heavens. And so now, and this is canon by the way, they have a very different interpretation that, no, Lord Tyrannos didn't just slay the corrupt gods. He decided that he was the one true god, and that he would guide mankind to a new age of enlightenment. And there were no star-born children. That's fucking cringe. And it's wrong because, like, polygamy is wrong in Astrian society. Why would the god of justice sleep with so many women and produce so many offspring? That doesn't make sense. That's wrong. And so now there's a schism between these two people. They don't like each other anymore. But maybe over time that changes. And while that schism maybe heals, perhaps through trade, mutual enemies, perhaps these annoying savages to the north constantly raiding their coasts might make them aligned to like each other. Because guess what? Nobody likes being raided. Nobody likes getting raped a little bit. Like, it's just kind of uncomfortable.
A little bit.
A little bit. This map is the out-of-date map.
Maybe want a little bit more rape. I don't know.
What makes me mad is I know this is the wrong map because these little sketchings I have all over it. I know these are everywhere, and this doesn't have them all. It's missing all the little ones. The names of the rivers. That must be on the other computer then. All right, well, I'll need to transfer that file. So they became extremists, Chatfish. This is kind of how I like to world build, more or less, because it fills a history and deep culture. So we can scroll down and get into the nitty-gritty, right? Ignore all that cringe, grand scale bullshit, chat. Boring. Who cares about massive empires clashing? Cringe. Okay, how many little layers did I draw? Too many. As I do the thing I did again. Let's talk about Pyria and the coastal region, right? In the coastal region of Astria, which is a very unique culture. They like things called the twin tail, which is this bird with two feathers. It's very cute, you know. I can't really draw it because I'm really bad. Oh my god, that's terrible. There's artwork of it that looks a lot better.
You could get it, but I think it's also paired with the arming art.
Yes. The twin tail feather is valued culturally because it looks pretty and girls like to put it in their hair. The bird does not very much care for women tricking it and grabbing it and ripping its twin tail feather out, but that's not the women's fault. You know, they think it looks pretty, so they stick it in their hair. In the same way that the polyberry carries a significance in culture. It used to be, you know, a fertility thing. Now it's more of like a cultural custom because it looks pretty and it smells nice. It also tastes pretty good. So Pyria shares a certain culture, or Pyria. We could talk about the city of Pyria's history. Pyria was a pointless garbage town that lived next to this little mountain that never really had too much value, but only until recently, with the collapse of what we call the former Westfold of the Empire, which is this region right here, kind of. sort of. I fucked up that line a little bit, but whatever. And so when the Nafir came and pushed them out, and the Battle of Broken Storms took place, which took place right here, and this is the River of Osos that separates them, the Ithrillian Mountains acted as a great shield to keep those filthy, smelly, savage barbarians out. And the river was a great place to hold them at. After the Battle of Broken Storms, many of the refugees that had flooded in here not only caused an economic crisis, wonderful, but they also started settling in a place called Pyria, which made the town get bigger into a large city. And eventually, because of its importance to trade and its access, along with Cyrene, that's also a very important city. Do not forget that city's importance when it comes to trade as well. Pyria also grew to rival Cyrenia in terms of its importance to sea trade. And so it made more natural sense to move the capital from Helios all the way down here. Because should the Horde break through and enter this region here, what better way to hold Pyria, because Pyria could be resupplied by a sea, versus the ancient city of Helios could be encircled. While the mountain fortress is great, you can siege a city and eventually they'll run out of food. Big problem, you know? Not good. Versus access to sea makes it very good. And the Nafir, let's just say they're not particularly seafaring, as they don't really have a particularly large access to ocean, nor do they have, well, technically they actually do through Solangar, but nor do they particularly use a lot of... God damn it, the donation sound just derails me entirely. Space Monkey donates $5 to say, how sci-fi it does get? Mechs and starfighters? Do you have a Chinese/Japanese or North American civilization? No. There's no China or America. They don't exist. So there's Astria. They exist. Oh, you're talking about like inspired. Okay. Now I understand. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm like so fixated on something, I just the question right over my head. But yeah, no, nations are kind of inspired. So originally the Astrians were very much inspired by Romans because I thought that Romans were really cool. But as I started writing them, I thought that didn't make any sense for any of the things that they were doing or their history. And it's contradictory to kind of everything. So I kind of had to rebuild them like 4 times. And so they've kind of become a little different. There's a mixture of Greco-Romanistic influences when it comes to the art direction, but they're surprisingly, you know what? You'll see. You'll see when we get to the lore videos. I'm going to let you deduct it, because I'm kind of curious what Chatfish will think when we actually get into the culture and what kind of things they think about it. Because I've got my own ideas as what I would describe them as, but I feel like this could actually be something a bit of a debate, and I might not actually be right about that. We'll see. Once we get to their lore videos. But when it comes to sci-fi, it goes all over the place. So this is set in the Third Age. This is after what we call the Fall. The Builders, a long time ago, was an ancient interstellar power. They once were the hegemon of the galaxy. Mankind, you know, basically spread from all over, using great things called lanes to travel and traverse the stars, and they could traverse the galaxy in mere minutes. Like, it's absurd how advanced they truly were. And we'll get into their lore, but I don't want to sidetrack too much. It's easy to get on a tangent here. But basically, eventually something happened, and you'll find out when we get to the prologue, what happened exactly. But they're not around anymore. And what's weird is, why are humans on this planet? This planet was once a planet in their tongue, which would be called not Ephemera. Ephemera means paradise. We're working on too many languages at the same time, so I get them mixed up in my head. It's Erefar, which means myth. And that is what 116 is. This is the planet of myth. Or, well, it was the planet. But now it's called Terrestria, because the Terrestrians don't call it the same name. People have different names for different things. Just like Syra, which is the name of the sun, was called something different by the Builders when they were in control. And, for example, the Vernians don't call Venor, which is the moon, Venor. They call it something completely different. But for the sake of brevity and the sake of my fucking sanity, we're going to focus on only the Astrian names, or in the Astrian calendar and the Astrian currency and the Astrian counting system. Because guess what? There's too many cultures, and I'm going to go insane. Because everyone calls things differently. Like, Verti White Peak has a completely different name if you ask the ancient Gol Arnor, which are now called Arnor. They used to be called Gol. And the Dol Ithrin, which are the other ones, are no longer called Dole, because Gol and Dole are dead. And a long time ago, that was in their, like, it was in their Bronze Age, basically. So that was fucking ages ago, because this is basically iron now. It's 1022 AE we're looking at, right? The stuff I'm talking about is pre-AE, which is after Enlightenment, Astrian calendar that refers to Kanar seizing power in Helios and basically destroying the Republic and becoming the first kingdom of Astria, uniting the city-states under a kingdom, and then later his children will reform it into the Empire of Astria, and that's its whole other fucking mess. But Verti Whitepeak has a name from the people from Ithrin, a name from the people from Arnor, and also has a name from the people of Astria. Astria call it Verti, so we're calling it that. Certain mountain ranges that are too far away from Astrians before they discovered it, I will use the native tongue names for those ones, because, well, it makes sense that they're not going to call it the same thing. Curses! This is not the right version of this map. These 3 mountain ranges here have names, along with all of this shit, and there's more stuff up here. All right, well, fuck it. The Dalathor and the Barator Mountains are using the names given to them by Ithrin. Actually, no, I think Dalathor is actually related to that one. And it refers to, I think actually they're related to each other, if I remember right. I can't remember the lore for that. My brain mushy. I know that there's the 2 brother mountains, and I'm pretty sure it's these 2 right here. I am 90% certain. I am 90%. I get them mixed up. Where's the cheese made? Wisconsin. He's like, what? Just draws a little Wisconsin on the map. It's like right over here. It's a little island. It's like, yeah, and they export the cheese, and everyone's happy. Plake, you monkey. Now, Sudden Cringe asks, Astrian Empire, political power is centered around boob sizes. Oh, see, for a second there, I thought it was a serious thing.
Chill, kid.
All those girls that fought that one civil war, boobas. Good question, says Mark. I don't think so. So the Nefuric are this world's equivalent to Mongolians? Very close, yes. They are about as close as it gets to Mongols or Huns for the Astrians. It's a very, very good analogy in my opinion. You know why it's a good analogy? Because I was very much inspired by steppe cultures. The Royal Sitharians, the, I think that's how you pronounce their name. I think it was Sitharians. I might be mispronouncing that word. The Huns and Mongols. Because I like steppe cultures. They're kind of fun to write. They're remarkably relaxing by comparison to like a civilized culture that's sort of settled. They have a very different thing, and things can get a little bit more loose, more fun to work with, especially when it comes to religion. Here's a statement of fact. Yeah. Don't worry, there are no wyverns you have to worry about, Decompresso. No wyverns in our setting. You're welcome. You say, thank God. Thank God.
I don't think there's any draconic creatures in general besides the Fluffy Dragon. But I think did you get rid of that thing?
Yeah. What thing?
Fluffy Dragon?
Oh, the Hylian. It's like a little noodle. No, it wears little arms and it has a little stick. I like how the art that Carlos draws is amazing, and then there's me making squiggles on a map. It's me.
I mean, it works.
I hand it to the artist and they improve it. My autism is all they need to fuel the actual ideas. But no, the Hylian is the house crest of House Vala, which is the reigning house, the 1,000-year dynasty. Oh, oops. Technically it's like that. And Imnos is also part of their territory. Don't worry about it. Details, and Serenia technically too. You know, I trigger my own autism because these borders are slightly wrong. My nose got the tingles, so hold on. Rivera's quite pretty. A while back, actually, we were doing some thingy-majiggies. I'll show chat. Thingy-majiggies that made Kib very happy. They were called, just map tests. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not the finished version. Oh, they're all work in progress in here. Oh, well, what can you do? It's about as good as it gets. I don't remember where the finalized versions were posted. I need Carlos to hold my hand. This was the map for the Battle of Estios. So this is the Estios city map. And here you can see the main section of the city sort of built up here. And the Great Bridge that connects basically the River of Osos from east and west to the west fold of the Empire. it was very, very pivotal that the Astrians sever, not necessarily sever, but fortify this position. This is pre-fortification. So this is the High Astrian Imperial era. Basically, that would be 800 AE, approximately, when this picture is of. Actually, no, 800 AE. It could go all the way, honestly, to 900 AE. But, like, post 1000 AE, it's a bit different, because after the Battle of Broken Storms, they fortified it, because the Nafir came from this side over here, and basically sort of tried to attack. You know, they tried lowering the river, they tried getting across, whatever way they could, and there was a whole fucking shtick of it. And I forgot how big that lore series is, because there's, like, 30 fucking art panels that I can actually show you. You know what? Let's blow little Chatfish's minds. Chatfish don't know anything. They don't. I have to educate them all the time. Makes me stressed out, it does. Oh, those are really cool. Forgot about those.
But learning is fun.
Yeah, sorta. It's like, why you not take it seriously, kid? So, this story panel that you see here, this is actually part of the lore series for when we actually get to the Astrian timeline. This is before the Battle of Broken Storms, about by a few hours or so, but it leads into it, basically, because this is the eldest brother of Emperor Pulioso, who is at this point Prince Pulioso. Oh crap, I can't remember his name, it slips me mind. Either way, this is his army being ambushed in the forest of Califar. Califar sits right outside the city of Estios, and is also what led to the Great Burning. Chatfishies, what do you... See, you type big things, and I'm like, what? Chatfish might write something that I might want to read, and then I read it, and it's like, Kib, we dumb. Are you going to do some kind of lore book in the future, if you ever get success? Because this is a lot. It is. Like, I'm glossing over so much, chat. What was it you said to me, Chumba, when we first brought you onto the team? I wish I had written it down, because I would have mounted that and put it on a wall of quotes. Oh, fuck, I can't remember. I don't know if you can remember. You said something when I was trying to, like, explain the setting to you. But we got in a tirade about it for, like, 3 hours, and then I ended up not writing anything, because I spent all day explaining the setting instead of writing.
The first time you went over stuff with me? Because I think I just praised your setting, that was all I did.
No, the second time. You said something about it. Oh, well. I can't remember. You said it was like a few words, and I was like, that was such an apt summary, because summaries are not my strong suit. Whatever.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But yeah, so this is like the story panel. It's fucking cool as fuck. And this is one grouping of story panels. Do you know how many of these things there are? You don't even want to know, chat. You don't want to know. A lot. This is what we do with all your donos, by the way. They go towards building this up. And the idea that I had is that we would release these in a timely fashion. That never happened. The biggest problem I think we faced with actually releasing anything in a timely fashion was that we would make such headway with this that we were like, this is great, this is perfect. And then we started working on the Battle of Broken Storms. And the Battle of Broken Storms was here to be the presentation. Yes, I remember. This is supposed to be, and still is, the lore video series for when Terrestrial War launches. Now, I do want this done before, but we're basically done, more or less. Like, the storyboard's done, the writing is more or less done. It's just down to actually, like, refining and actually script stuff. But there's no need to work on it right now, because working on it right now is kind of pointless, because the tabletop isn't ready for public launch. But as soon as it is, damn, we got to put this bad boy together. The other one is the War of the Father. And that video is, I believe, for the video game. Yep. And the stuff we're working on now is actually the slow burn release. That stuff actually comes out soon. If you're a member, and you donated, by the way, make sure you have access to the Chamber of Squeakrits, because you probably have about a week or 2 weeks until you see the actual lore video. They shouldn't be too big. They're supposed to be short and sweet, like only about 5 minutes, if not a little shorter, because what we're delivering is pure fact, more or less, or, well, biased fact, because it might be from a certain character's perspective. But, The entire idea is that they're not supposed to be too long, because I want to actually make like a lot of them, and then just sort of like build it up and then slowly drip feed it, and that should get you enticed into getting the books, and the books are going to have more of the details in them, and along with the games and everything else. So it's all being built up, and we couldn't actually do any of this, by the way, if it wasn't for you guys. So you guys need to pat yourself on the back, because literally all these little art pictures, all these little these scribbles are actually my favorite thing in the world, by the way. When Carlos is in the shaping phase, like, I love this so much. Like, there's so much personality in this phase. I know it might not look like a lot when it's in the squiggle stage, but this is like when the early idea of something is taking shape. This is my favorite part. It's like, you know that scene in Jurassic Park where, like, the little dinosaur crawls out of the egg and it's like, oh, it's magical because it's the moment of birth? That's like this. This is like that for me. Scribbles. Like the early stage of a drawing before it becomes, you know, more refined. And I love these stages too. But the earlier, like this formation phase is just so awesome. Because you can just see the idea take shape as it becomes something more. Or, you know, squiggles of text. The Lyak was something I think was really fun. My God. We owe a lot of credit for Bensky for this, because the Lyak was partially Bensky's innovation. So Bensky helped out inspire this one. This beast. He gets head pats. Who is doing the voiceover, Kip? We're having Robin do the voice work for it. At least that's the plan for right now. Robin's got a fantastic narration voice. We might eventually switch up more later, but I want to keep it to people who aren't particularly established, even though there have been offers from higher people to do things for us. Mostly because I want to keep it focused on our things. And the best way to do it is to focus on people who have yet to be given the limelight, I guess. Trading wheels imply you learn jumping. Fights too easy. Just forget for reading that. I don't even understand. Chatfish like Lyaks? They do. Lyaks are cute. They're adorable. I think they're awesome.
Legs.
We did discuss one issue with the Lyak, though. You'll probably notice it just like I will. So, look at how high the head is. And the big feathers at the top of it, right? How does he see? One of our ideas is that when it charges, its head actually lowers a bit, or when it moves forward. The other idea is that they sort of lean over to the side and like, as they peek over. It's like, I can't quite see.
I think the lean forward was more what the idea was.
The helmets are awesome, says Mark. Yeah, Carlos did a great job. He's actually going to really appreciate comments like that. He loves that. He does fantastic face plates, and wait till we get to Mazatec. Oh my God. There are sort of Incan, Mayan, Aztec-inspired faction. They're not quite the same. Like, the problem is, I use these words to try to give you an inkling of a flavor in your mind, and I hope that that paints a good, just picture. To explain the river tribes a bit more, the river tribes live in a continent called Vatsti. Vatsti is a rather fascinating place because of its climate. Mostly because it's a big, swampy bowl. It's actually, I think about it, that's kind of gross, actually, so I just grossed myself out. So it's basically a lot of water because of where the water is on the equator. Hot water, if I remember right, comes here. Rain clouds come up here because of the air current map, which then rains all up in this business, which is awful. Even rains over Luminar. Everybody loves Luminar. And that makes it very wet. There's lots of great rivers and great lakes and swamps. Lots of wet stuff. And there's highlands that sort of sit above these sort of tall jungle regions. And in these highlands, it's more or less safe. But on the lower side, there's these massive trees. What are those trees called that we have that are sort of like on the west coast? They're big. What are they called? I forget them. Red trees? No? Red? No. Red forest? No. I don't know.
They're red, though, apparently.
Yeah, they're big. Big trees.
I don't think you told me about them yet.
Chat, help. Help. What are the red trees in our planet called? I know my stuff better than I know our own planet. Help me.
Redwoods?
Yes, I don't remember the name of the trees.
I think you're talking about.
I don't know why, but I thought they're like
redwood
chickpeas, and I'm like, oh,
No.
chickpeas like a bird or something. Redwoods, yeah, whatever. It's the big trees, right? These canopies cover everything, and in these people. Now, this area is here as hell. But in the north or along the coast, it's a little better, right? And so there's like lots of rivers that run through here, and these rivers swirl around, and they all normally lead to places like here to drain out, because water, you know, wants to go down. It always is running down. But there's these thing called the river cities, and the river cities are these various great tribes that live in these floating cities that float along these great rivers. They trade with each other, they fight for resources, and they don't live on the land because the land is so inhospitable, and the things that live there devour people like they're fucking candy. But the people here have learned to live with these creatures called crabs, which are various large crustaceans, a little bit smarter, you know, sort of like a doge. These crabs have been more or less tamed and incorporated in their society. They help pull the floating houses, and they also use them as food and armor, and they also use them for various other things. Because they're one of the, what we call the 6 beasts of burden of Terrestria. One is the Lyak, the other is the crab. And no, the spearbeak is not a beast of burden. That creature is not stable to be a beast of burden. That thing is nasty. It will very much eat the rider if given the opportunity. Yes, the crab is loved. The crab was originally a joke name, but when the joke name leaked, Chatfish liked the crab name so much that it became the canonical name. And yes,
Speaking
they're called crabs.
jokes,
What's up?
Carlos's version of the in quotes war Lyak is my favorite version.
Which, oh, the muscle bro one?
Joke.
Yes, send that to me in DMs. The April Fool was on the Aerith account. I'll show that chat.
Alright.
Because Carlos made the war Lyak. It's funny.
I'll get it.
It's like a muscle bro. Can they collect taxes? Not very much. They're not very much. They're less an empire and more of like a thing. There are debt clearings on the deltas and stuff like that.
There, I sent it.
Let's put it up for chat. See, I've avoided talking about the Confederacy of Master because the minute I mention black powder and like guns, Chatfish are just gonna say it's their favorite faction, and then they'll never care about any of the other factions. So we're gonna make them the last one because I have a feeling they'll be too popular. But yeah, so this is the Lyak, and we got this as a April Fool's thing from Carlos when we were working on the Lyaks. The war Lyak is very big.
It got into the protein.
It got into the protein
container down there at the guy's feet.
It got extra chonky. Can you believe it, chat? Oh. I'm gonna try to sneeze. Yeah, I figured. That's why Bastard comes last. Because if you like black powder weapons, you're gonna like Bastard. That's because they use their cannons to fight the giants of Budanawa. Because they are quite nasty. They have cannon wagons and things like that. Very, very annoying faction, I imagine. I'm curious to see how the tabletop team handles implementing them. Because I just imagine cancer, honestly. Oh.
Wait, I think for which?
Bastard. Their cannon and black powder wagons. It's the closest Terrestria has to a tank. At this point. A proto-tank, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Because they have their beast of burden on Avogaria. Because Avogaria is actually very different. So, oh my god, that's the other thing. Little bucket fishies, I forgot to mention. So, we break things down. So there are continents, right? So this is, I know like there's a continent here, right? And this sucks a lot, if I remember right. I can't remember how it works exactly. This place, Hell. Hellastro. Not fun to live. I'm just saying. Just because I remember the tectonic plates are weird there. Because it's smoosh between a bunch of things. A lot of volcanic activity. Especially by the city of Amon. Oh, you know this is the wrong map, because every time I look over here, there should be a little mark that says Amon there. It's so important that that should be there. At least historically important. Whatever. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so Lyaks, right? So Lyaks are beasts, and we generally mark the map. Oh god, I painted over this map too much. Easier just make new layer. New painting. So Lyaks are like predominant in like pretty much a large swath of the world, right? They've been introduced down here. They're not native to Krynos or Halastro, but they're more or less introduced there. And they have been put over here as well. But Avogaria has its own beast of burden as well. which is also incorporated in pretty much this region here. And then the scrubs are also used quite frequently by the tribes down here. And so they have their own thing. Just like the Astozi have their own thing, which I'm not going to talk about because I want to keep that under wraps for a little bit. And there are some other. There are 6 beasts of burden in total. But we won't talk about all of them. There's Squeakwitch, chat. Squeakwitch you must wait for. Squeakwitch I must also make sure that I am happy with before I say them, because I don't want people to get attached to things. That's my big fear. Because I'll be working on something and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then like, yeah, it doesn't quite fit though. I'm going to erase that. And my fear is that because I'm in the early stages and if I show something too early, try to be like, wait, I wanted that. I'm like, well, yeah, but I got something better. And like, I wanted that. And you know, that's going to be a problem. Like a 3-year-old at a candy store, you know. So it's always a little bit of caution when you introduce certain things. Oh yes, there are different species of crubs, right? So I was talking about different things, right? So there's different variants. There's the Astrian steed, which is its own subcategory. Then there's this like the common Astrian, which is sort of out here. And then there's the smaller Astrian. Did I say Astrian? Lyak. Then there's the smaller Lyak, and then there's different Lyaks over here. Because as they, you know, went over the planet, they evolved differently based on their environment and certain pressure to certain changes, so they sort of drifted. It's sort of like the Krunto. The Krunto are a really cool insect race, and we have them there, we got them over there, and we also got them over here.
The are still very short wherever they go.
Yeah, they're always short. They're not that short. Like they're 5, 6, and 5, like 8.
Basically dwarfs.
Like for the time period, that makes sense based on what they're eating. Okay, they're not as tall as Cardovians. Cardovians are much taller. Most of the Northerners up in Ruthmere and Tivoni are taller and lean. And the stubby little midget Astrians are down here. But there are differences in the different regions. Oh my god, it's such a rich and detailed world, chat. I just can't wait till you all have it. And then you become my slaves. Because then, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Nowhere, chat. You're mine now. All as long as there's no yinglets. There are no fucking yinglets. I swear to God. I swear. Closest thing you got is bug people. And they're not really bugs. They just have a carapace. Makes them very nasty in melee. Oh. There are actually 3 subsets of them. But that's due to different external pressures, much like in humans. You know how we have Asian humans, we got black humans, we got white humans, we got brown humans.
We got black humans, we got white humans, we got brown humans.
We got ginger humans.
I call us a red human, but that's racist.
Racist comments.
Oh my god, don't get me started on racism and how much of it is in the set. Or we'll be here forever.
Yeah, it's great.
I love this racist.
The further west we go on this map, the more racist we get, or south. Anything that way or that way is not a good idea.
Can you really blame them though?
Oh my god. I remember when we were working on the lore for like the end section of the game where they go to different regions, and I just remember we were talking about racism and how racism saved civilization. In context, it makes a lot more sense. It's just funny out of context. Because unironically, there's an argument to be had when we were doing the lore that I forget, was it Carlos who raised it, or I don't remember who, because somebody was taking the piss while I was writing, making me feel annoyed because I'm trying to focus, and they're like, so you're telling me like racism saved terrestrial? And I'm like, it's not really what I was going for, but I see your point.
I mean,
of course they're different races. I mean, the Astrians are their own race. For example, Astrians and Eldarians are not the same. Nor are, oh my god, what's the region's name? It's called Engril, the lands of Engril. No, wrong, Kip. This is Engril. I don't remember what that's called. These people are different. These people are actually closely related to those people. And Tivonians are not like Ruthmere. Ruthmere are kind of their own little cringe. Weeb faction? I can't show you that, chat. I have a nut. If I do, you'll all declare it your favorite because you're all fucking weebs.
So you just confirmed that there is weeb faction.
The closest thing we did is we took inspiration from Wapan and artistically, and we took a little bit of inspiration from the Maori and some other things. And then we did some mixing and changing, like we did with the Astrians, until we got something that had a nice taste. A nice terrestrian taste is what I call it. Like a little bit of flavor. Oh, the Taro. Well, House Taurius is named after the Toro, and that's because they rode the Toro into battle. You're not supposed to ride Toros into battle. They're actually delicious steaks, but they decided to ride Toros into battle. Toros are kind of like cows.
Big cows.
Yeah, big cows. If they start charging at you, run. Or don't run, they're faster than you. Get out of the way.
I would imagine they don't turn very quickly.
No, they don't.
But the important question, Gibbs, is which is the best species on Terrestria?
I'm actually really upset right now, and I can't change my upset levels because I don't know why this is the wrong version of this map, which means that I've saved it in the wrong location, okay? Like, I'm a little agitated right now, okay? Because there's supposed to be, like, you see how many names are here? This is a lot more cluttered and hideous looking because there's, like, triple that. And it's all over the place because when I had expanded, so it must be on the other computer. Oh, crap. Well, it's a good thing I didn't wipe that computer, or I would have fucking hanged myself. Actually, it's okay. I think I backed it up on the website. But I thought I downloaded the backup version. How agitating. So I set up my computer over here, and I moved the maps over here because this PC is a lot more powerful. And thank God. This map is huge, and making stuff on it when it saves, oh god, it just fucking takes like 20 minutes on the other PC, and it's like where I'm sitting there fucking doing nothing. I hate that. Well, I'm actually thinking about things. Thinking is something, whatever. Crazy Tempo donates $6.23 to say, is there anything you can tell us about Cardovia? Yes, I can. It's actually not one kingdom, and I did misspell things. I took inspiration from Sweden because I like the idea of Konungers.
Sweden.
It's sort of like this.
Sweden.
Sort of. There are 4 little kingdoms here, and they're what we call the Azak. I don't know why I thought I could write that. I don't have my pen. I'm drawing with a mouse, so it's not going to work out very well. If you give me a pen, it goes better. There's technically 5 kingdoms of the Azak people, and they are over here. But Strivengar didn't want to be part of them because they didn't like the fact that being told what to do and a council of kings sounds really dumb to them. So they're like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then there's the Olnir. The Olnir used to rule all of these people a long time ago. The Olnir Empire was very big. It was actually later after the Asher Dominion Wars. The Asher Empire had already had like basically all that there under their control subjugation. They came down and raided a bunch of shit, eventually settling over here, stopping there. And unfortunately, the Olnir king basically found this very attractive seaborn waifu and loved the ever-living crap out of her. But his wife wasn't very happy about that, so she mustered all of her forces. And there was a big battle here in the Ionian Sea, and she died. And then they made a deal with the Astrians. I'm skipping over so much. And then the Olnir, fine, for their help, they left, and then they went over here and settled these guys' land, who now live up here. They used to live down there, but now they don't live there anymore because, well, they had to scoot over. They had to make room. That happened a long time ago. And then eventually that Olnir dude died, and his daughter also died a premature death, and there was no dynasty. And so it became known as the Sophian Mercantile Republic. And it's a various merchant houses, and its legacy ties back to the Olnir, but it's not really Olnir. It's quite a fascinating place because of its culture and how far away they are. It's one of the furthest drifting cultures. Like, you can talk about the Nefir, and that's a pretty big deal that Nefir came from the Agorial and went all the way over there, or the fact that Astrians and like Cardovians and Navarians all migrate to Galay. Like, that's a weird thing too. But if you want to talk about like weird things that happen in Astrian history in terms of like migration, I always like to point to the Cardovian, or not the Cardovians, the Olnir. Wrong group. Cardovians are Azaks, not Olnir. The Olnir migrated all the way there. Like, that's strange. It's quite far. It's very far, actually. They're definitely a people out of place, because Olnir are like 8 feet tall on average. Or no, 8 feet? I think it's... They're tall. No, they're 6 feet. 6 feet. No. They're 6 feet. I got them mixed up. These guys 8 feet. 8 feet to 9 feet tall. The Luminarians are quite tall. The Olnir are tall, but not nearly as tall as them. They are actually dwarfed by the Luminarians. Oh my god, Chatfishies. Wow, I'm impressed. Viewer retention is not only stable, but it's going up. We need to do this more often. Chatfish, do you want to do proper terrestrial streaming?
Told you that we should probably have done that.
We'll do them daily. Maybe we'll do lore updates where it's like, Kim updated this faction. Instead of it not having any lore whatsoever, like, what's the nation that doesn't have any lore? I mean, they do have lore. Bospis does. But compared to Astria, they have nothing. Scytharius has lore. Nezri has more lore than them. Magi has the more lore. Rujar has a lot of lore. Benici has surprisingly not as much lore as Rujara. Trying to have more lore. Dabunia. I hate their name. Turnberg. Turnberg has a lot of lore. Turnberg, you're so cool, but you had to be an isolationist nation. I hate you. Why I hate them is because they're not even in the game. The problem with isolationist people is they don't want to interact with anyone. So you can't really play with them. I mean, you can if you invade them. You can.
Well, there you go.
They like to mind their own business, which is kind of cringe. They should be invading things and subjugating people and doing the bad things. The fun things that are fun to write about. Isolationist nations just make me angry.
Next game.
Maybe. I can make them get invaded.
Or they can be the main protagonist.
It's like, so we sat behind our mountains forever.
End.
How horny are Astrians? Well, let's see. They're humans, so about as horny as a human could be. You know, because they're humans. I mean,
humans and they don't like clothes.
They don't. Astrians don't really wear a lot. At least specifically Southern Astrians. What's called Northern Astria, which has more or less been culturally assimilated land, which is what House Taurius possesses, which aren't native Astrian, but they're expanding, just like they were expanding into what we call the Fallen Kingdoms, or the Westfold. They have kind of switched culturally. Now, bear in mind that there's the snow line, or snow. So up about here, it snows, so anything up here gets cold. And that sort of philosophy doesn't really apply. It gets cold up there, chat. They gotta wear pants.
Oh no, not pants.
The enemies of every Astrian. Pants. You mean hands. Alright, chat. Grumpy donates $10 say, it's almost like Chatfish want to know more about what we're here to support. Strange idea. I know. But I like to keep things surprises for you. Yeah, I've got this surprise obsession where I like the idea of just not telling you and then being like, I'm pulling like the big canvas off the thing and be like, ta-da, look at all this stuff. And then you'll be like, oh my god, I wasn't donating money and he was just eating it. No, actually we weren't. Well, I mean, we kind of were eating it in the sense that we were using it.
I eat the money.
Yeah, you eat the money. Like, no. Takes a bite of his little cheeseburger.
I'll buy some firewood later and I'll start burning the money too.
Wow.
Literally, because I spent money.
That's fine. You've done your job.
My firewood.
You've done your job to help raise money. That's all you need to do. That's all you're good for. It's like,
So, what I'm hearing is Kibbs just wants to throw the Chatfish into the bucket of lore. In the deep end.
They're probably going to start opening it up now because I think it's time to. I think Chatfish have proven they're receptive. Once the first lore video's out, we'll do more. Like, we got this whole thingamajiggy. Where'd I put it? I've been tagged in the developer server. Oh.
That was probably me.
It was you. You got me excited. You made me think that, like, something was happening. I was like, nice.
I finished what I was...
You know what? I'm disappointed and my day is ruined.
Well, shame.
Where'd I put them? Oh, there they are. So we're doing the Rohirrim lore, right? The Rohirrim are like this ancient space people. And they kind of look like goat people a little bit. Well, they used to look a lot more like goats back in the old days. But we decided that was a dumb look, so we give them a better look. But I still miss the goat days when they were goats. And they go, bae. Oh my god, the big goat face always sticks in my mind. I can never ungoat them. They're always goats to me. Forever now. That's scarred into my brain. But they're so cool and they're so much fun to work on. The Rohirrims are a very proud and noble people. I just can't wait to absolutely destroy them. But yeah, you got some cultural things. We've been working on like these little lore blurb ideas. So you can sort of see these. These are like tests. And this is actually thanks to help of actually Chumba and Carlittle. So very good job. This is actually done without the Kibs for once. They grow up so fast.
It was mostly Carlos.
I know. Oh, my dog. Yeah. Wrong picture. What wrong with yeah, pretty much. Oh no, we're not doing investors. Sorry. The entire thing is we're going to crowdsource the project from the beginning. Investors is how wokeism slips in. And no investors. I will do this with whatever pocket change we get, just like I have been doing, and just like when I turned down those investors last time. I don't care. I'm too autistic to care about the money. I'm just... Maybe that's a saving grace. I'm retarded. Yeah, I think that's the help. So basically the Draenei.
Right.
Don't be mean. Don't sexualize them like the Draenei. Ban Genghis. Ban Genghis.
Okay.
Leave. No. See, anytime people say Draenei, all I can think of is how sexualized they are. Don't ask questions, okay? None of you ask questions. You just leave that...
Specifically the Draenei females.
You leave that sit there and you don't think about it.
I feel like Kibbs's search history in the past contained a lot of things.
Don't worry about it. What if your supporters become uber woke? Well, then they're not my supporters anymore, are they?
Mass Effect dogs.
I think it just got said. You said Mass Effect dogs?
Yeah.
What?
The Mass Effect
No,
dogs.
No!
Yes, there you go.
Every time I see them like advance towards me, I have flashbacks and PTSD. Like, no! No! People who on the internet need to be punished for that. I do not need to see that.
I guess I'm glad I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't. And you know what? Be grateful. Because what that is fucking cringe. Look at his face. He looks so derpy. I love him. They make me happy. How they evolved to be that way is my favorite part. But we can't tell Chatfish yet. For now, they'll have to be content with the Warlyak, which is a hunky boy.
There's a different version of that. Let me see if I can find it.
It's don't matter too much. As long as he doesn't try turning him into a waifu, I'm okay.
He's not albine.
Beto already eluded the Spearbeak. A tragic day for humanity. No, shut up, Portrait Seal. This is how you keep the woke crap out. You own the gate, and you keep it shut, the gate. Yeah, pretty much. That's why not everybody is allowed to participate, I guess. Like, I mean, anybody can try our stuff, and if you like it, great. But you have to be willing to fit in, and if you're not willing to fit in, then you have to leave. You don't belong here. I spent my entire life building this thing, and I will spend my entire life building this thing. This is the only thing I'll be doing. I decided that a long time ago. And as long as I'm supported financially to do so, then I will work till I drop. And yeah, I think that's good enough for me. And if we stay niche, awesome. In fact, that's for the best, in my opinion. Success has its downsides, and if we're just successful enough that we can have our cake and eat it, amazing. Wonderbar. Lions look very edible. Don't eat them. Oh my god, you're not supposed to eat a Lyak. They're basically horses. And people do eat horses, and those people are wrong and should burn alive. People are wrong. There are certain things on the eat bar versus not eat side, you know? Like chickens, cows, and pigs. Mmm, tasty. Either way, chat. I think it's safe to say that we'll cue a terrestrial lower thumbnail for a Q&A. And I'll actually prepare it so that this isn't just sort of like random. I'll have prepared subjects. And then we can diverge and wriggle and writhe and go all over the place, over the board. But it is time for me to prepare for the Red Alert 3 stream, Chatfish. So, we will see you in a few minutes, actually. Never mind, I was going to say tomorrow, but that's a lie. We'll see you in a few minutes. Other than if you're small? Kinda, yeah. Their dietary habits sort of made it so they weren't particularly tall. They're kind of equal, if not a little shorter than the little Astrians. And the Astrians aren't very big either. Diet does play a big role in the stature of a people. So, whether they had access to certain foods. The Astrians are getting in height, though. I mean, they're not as short as they were 1,000 years ago. Maybe they're hungry. Maybe they have more steak.
I found a great image for the
taro steak.
lore stream.
What's that? Where?
And I posted in discussions.
Why do this to me? Why would you do this to me, baby? Bickering bunch discussions. Okay. We'll end the stream with that picture there. Bickering bunch discussions. There you go. That's pretty appropriate, I think. I'm going to be a little late for the next stream because I haven't even set it up yet. But with that closing note there, Chatfish, we'll wrap up the stream here. And I will see you in the next stream in a few minutes. You be happy, little Chatfish. And see you in Red Alert 3. We'll do more of these and we'll probably do them weekly. If not, I would like to do them weekly because focusing on the setting more and talking about it more helps put me in the mind of it more, which helps me work on it better, in my opinion. Versus keeping my mouth shut, which makes me feel like I take focus away. I don't know, maybe I could just be blabbing. Either way, we'll see you next stream. Bye
now.
Bye.